Hi again, everybody, and welcome to Center Ice Arena in beautiful Traverse City, Michigan, the site of tonight's hockey game this afternoon. The Detroit Red Wings take on the Columbus Blue Jackets, along with Art Regner and Carley Johnson. Also joining us in the booth, the fine play-by-play broadcaster of the Cleveland Monsters, Tony Brown. And first and foremost, Tony, thanks a lot for joining us today. You'll be calling the second half of this hockey game, but Columbus is doing pretty good so far in this tournament.
Well, absolutely, Ken. It's an honor to be here with you guys to be a part of the broadcast today. And Columbus, of course, a long history at this tournament. As you well know, they've had a lot of success, and this year, too, out to a great start with a couple of wins. And in both those games, as we were talking about off the air, games in which the Blue Jackets fought back after falling down early and found a way to win.
Absolutely, they did, and the Detroit Red Wings are 1-1 so far. Art Regner, and coming off a tough loss, a physical game yesterday against the St. Louis Blues.
Well, certainly, head coach Ben Simon of the Wings said, after the game, he knows that his hockey team is going to be tired today, but this is what hockey's all about, right? I mean, they got to get used to it. Back-to-backs are part of the equation, and if you do look at it, the one interesting thing is that, and we want to say this right away because Red Wing fans are going to be in a near panic. I can hear them now. that Lucas Raymond and Jonathan Berggren are not playing. However, from what we've understood, and we knew that Berggren didn't play after the first period in last night's game, lost to the Blues, but they are being held out for precautionary reasons. It's nothing serious, especially with the game that Raymond played last night. So they're not here. So that means 2/3 of Detroit's top line during this tournament is not playing tonight. So what happens is that Joe Veleno is still the number one center. Kirill Tutayev moves up to the right wing, and then Cross Hannes moves up to the left wing, and that'll be Detroit's line. The Red Wings only going with 10 forwards tonight, too.
Also, we want you, as you're watching the stream tonight, feel free to tweet us and use the hashtag Let's Go Red Wings, LGRW. We'll see your posts throughout the course of this stream here today. And, again, it's a family show, and you never know. We might see your tweets right here on our stream today. But, when you look at the Columbus Blue Jackets, Tony, you look at a guy like Cole Sillinger, and he's been really, really good so far. What can you tell us about him?
Well, certainly he is one of the guys that Blue Jackets fans who are paying close attention to this tournament have been really eager to see play in this uniform. Of course, he, among a couple of first-round draft choices in the lineup here, dynamic player. He's been able to produce in the first couple of games of this tournament, and, I'm really excited to. This will be the first time I'm watching him as well. I'm really excited to see what he's got.
We're all excited about it, and off to a good start, the Columbus Blue Jackets. But as we take a look at who's on the ice right now, a player that really played well in the first game, Kirill Tutayev. Art, he was really sensational, and he's played pretty well in the first two games for Detroit.
Well, I thought, boy, I know an extraordinary amount about Kirill Tutayev, and then I went back on our website, and I've written a couple of stories about him. So, but the thing that really stood out in his draft here when the Red Wings drafted him was that in a small amount of games, he had over 114 points in like 30-some games in the league that he was in, and he was a 7th-round pick, and they decided, look, that is just too good. That is just way too good of a point total. I don't care what league he's in. For the 7th round, let's take a chance on him, and they did. And since that time, he has excelled. Now he's not getting like 4 points a game or something like he was back then, but he has shown that he really does belong. And the big question was it was not his skill level. It was not whether he has a skill level or not. It was, can he get big enough? Can he get strong enough to compete in the best league in the world? And he's kind of answered the bell in this tournament. And granted, he's still playing against his peers. And when the big boys get here on Wednesday, then we'll find out. But, pretty impressive. Tutayev is somebody that I think that, Ken, how many times have you heard me say the Red Wings need to catch a break or two on a player? Guy come out of nowhere, and boom, and maybe. Now this is, I want people to hold off on this, okay? But where the same town in Russia that Tutayev's from, another Red Wing player is from the same hometown.
And who is that?
Pavel Datsyuk, the Magic Man. So, hey, if he can be half the player Pav is, that's a player.
And, of course, he was a terrific player, right?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? Yeah. That's
Even Tony says that.
It's
So hey,
something in the water back home. I think.
yeah, really, it must be in Yarakalakasov or something. You know, I know I mispronounced it. I apologize.
Well, joining us, as we mentioned on the onset, is our lady about town, but this time she's about near the Red Wing bench. And joining us is Carley Johnson with the mask on and the gloves. Those are new gloves, aren't they, Carley?
Oh, yeah. I stopped at Meyer, who is actually on the helmets of the Detroit Red Wings this season.
Very good.
I like that plug. I went and bought them. I needed them. Yesterday, my nail beds hurt. It is so cold down here, but I really can't complain. I mean, being on the boards is so much fun. You know, you hear all the chirps out there, and we know it was a chippy game last night. So we were definitely hearing a lot of chirps down here, and we were talking about, you guys were mentioning Tatayev. He was actually the last one out on the ice today, working on his stick handling skills. Pavel Datsyuk, that was actually going to be my storyline, Art. He was working the puck like Pavel Datsyuk down here with his stick handling. So it's really cool to see him being able to find his footing with this team. He only had one shot on net, though, in last night's game. So I'm looking for a few more shots from Kirill Tatayev tonight because, as we know, in that game one, he netted 2 goals. So we want to see him keep producing offensively. You know, I mean, someone like that who's kind of coming out of nowhere, which I guess is kind of a bold statement to make, but a lot of us didn't really know him coming into this camp. So he's definitely made a splash, and he's getting recognized. And, hey, we can't stop talking about him. That's a good thing.
That is a good thing. And I was looking at the Red Wing lineup, and due to a couple of injuries, we mentioned Bergeron not playing. Curry was injured in the last hockey game. But it looks like, Carley, the Red Wings are going with 10 forwards for this hockey game. And this is 3 games in 4 nights, so it's going to be really tough for the Red Wings, isn't it?
Right. I mean, they're out 2 out of 3 of their top line. Sorry, I'm in a high traffic area, but they're missing 2 out of their 3 in the top line. So Joe Veleno definitely has a lot of weight on his shoulders tonight. But I mean, just watching this team and how they've been able to click. Of course, we know they got the loss last night, so that wasn't a great game for them. But you know, they want to bounce back. They probably have a fire in their belly after last night, knowing that's not the way they wanted this camp to go. So I'm looking for a win tonight against the Columbus Blue Jackets, and I think that's what we're going to get because I know these guys are not happy about the way they played last night.
A very physical game against the St. Louis Blues. Thanks a lot, Carley, for checking in with us, and I'm sure we'll be joining you after the first intermission here, or during the first intermission.
Absolutely. Let's go Red Wings, guys. Let's get another win.
All right, sounds good. All right, let's take a look at the lineups for the Red Wings, and then we'll shoot it over to Tony for the Columbus lines. But you mentioned you got Joe Veleno on that top line with Kirill Tatayev and Cross Hannes, so Hannes moves up a little bit due to the injuries with Raymond not playing.
Well, right. Ken, we've always talked about opportunity, and even though, and I know everybody wants to see, Bergeron and Raymond out there for the Wings, but this is an opportunity right now for Tatayev, who, let's face it, St. Louis playing last night, as we talked about, was to blanket the Red Wings and hit them, and they were going after everybody. Tatayev, too. I'm not surprised that he only had 1 shot on net because he didn't have a whole lot of time and space out there. But you look at Cross Hannes, you look at Tatayev, they're on the line with Joey Veleno, and Veleno obviously is gifted, has scored a goal, has played in the National Hockey League. But guys like Pasquale Zito, who was the third-line center, moves up to the second line on the wing with Chase Pearson, who's had a good tournament. I mean, these are opportunities for them. Hayden Verbeek is back in the lineup. This is opportunity for these guys to step up against a very good Columbus prospect team. And I'm just not saying that because Tony's here. I mean, I truly believe it and mean it. And for your benefit, we'll say go Blue Jackets. Okay, there you go, Tony. That's that. But seriously, they're a good team. They communicate very, very well out on the ice. Cole Sillinger, who we've already talked about, his goal ignited the comeback on Friday. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how a Red Wing team responds, and a little bit wounded Red Wing team, very, very tired. 3rd game in 4 nights. How they respond to it. And I think that guys like Pasquale Zito, who played for Windsor last year, meaning he didn't play hockey at all.
Right.
Can he step up? Chase Pearson and Veleno, those are 2 veteran leaders on this team. Do they step up? And then in net, Jan Bednash is going to be tested. He is definitely going to be tested because Columbus is that good. So there's a lot of intriguing storylines from the Detroit perspective, and it'd be great to win. And I know the Red Wings won the tournament 2 years ago, and they're not awarding the Ken Kal Cup as I like to call it this year. But overall, I really do think that this should be a pretty good hockey game and really intriguing to watch.
All right, real quick before we go to a video, Tony, really quick about the Columbus Blue Jackets. What about the line combinations? And it looks like maybe the top lines will go head-to-head.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, of course, Tyler Engel had a great year with the Cleveland Monsters last year. One of those guys that was able to get a first taste of professional hockey. Sillinger, Chinnikov, those are the big guys up top. But also Josh Dunn wearing the captaincy for the Blue Jackets in this tournament. Fabulous opportunities in both Cleveland and Columbus last year. And, of course, Cole Fonstad, Jake Gaudette, Tristan Mullen, all three of those guys under contract with the Cleveland Monsters for this year. Looking forward to seeing those guys play. And one guy who's really caught my eye is Narvin Mutter there on the right wing of that fourth line. Big physical player, can do a lot of things, and looking forward to seeing him tonight.
And Gaudette looked good in the last game that we broadcast, and he provides a lot of energy and spark out there as well.
Yeah, he's coming off one heck of a season, captaining UMass to a national championship and a taste of American Hockey League life and 2 goals the other night. So all things trending in the right direction with young Jake Gaudette, that's for sure.
Well, players having a really good training camp, or actually a prospects tournament right now, is defenseman Jared McIsaac. As we all know, he had some shoulder injury problems, and it's good to see him back. He was +3 in the first game against the Dallas Stars. So let's take an up-close look at Jared McIsaac right now.
Well, that's one thing that adversity does to you, right? It either breaks you or just makes you insanely strong, and I think that, that's one thing we touched on with Jared this whole time is like, as hard as this is right now, this is going to make you a better player. You kind of got to embrace this at this point.
I grew up in Salmon River in Truro, so we had a little pond just behind our house. We lived, about I wouldn't even say a kilometer from the river to walk out our back deck, and there was a pond, 150 yards away. Minor hockey's huge back home and in the city here in Nova Scotia, so I was always around the rink, and I think, after my first year at Bantam, I was able to jump up and play midget, and being pushed by all the older guys. I think that's when I really started to love the game and see how much competition there is there, and then playing for Hockey Canada my first year, it was like this is what I want to do.
From Halifax, defenseman Jared McIsaac.
Finally, fellas, there you go, big guy.
When they drafted him, everybody in the league, the scouts and everybody, said he was a really good pick. Scouting report on him said that he's got a variety of shots. Like, he can slap the puck, he's good and close, he's got a good wrist shot, so he's not one of those guys where he's just going to slap the puck from the blue line and hope for a tip in or something like that. I mean, he can jump into the play.
On a high just from being drafted, a lot of confidence in my game at the time, and went to Traverse City, played pretty well, and played well at the World Junior Showcase, and ended up, Kenny Holland ended up signing me shortly after that, and I went to, played in World Juniors, came back, felt great, and then, my shoulder started sliding, and it would sublux, so it would pop out, and it would partially pop out and pop back in. And
the labrum, it's actually a piece of fibrocartilage that's attached to the rim of the shoulder socket that helps keep the ball of the joint in place. And what happens is when the fibrocartilage is torn, the ball in the socket comes loose.
I just decided to play through it all year. The team and the therapist did, everything they could we were trying everything every other week to, keep it in, because at one point it was just sliding out every game, pop out and then pop back in and be fine for the rest of the game. But yeah, it was tough. I had the mindset, I guess, to, I'd be doing a disservice to, myself and my team if I didn't try to push through it. So, I could have had it done, but, I'm not one of those people to, kind of lay over. So, yeah, proud of that, really.
Someone that's been through labrum surgery before, it's probably one of the more difficult surgeries. You think of it similar to an ACL surgery where you're out 6 months. Best case scenario, it's 5 months.
It was tough, especially after having a really good year, even though I was hurt. And I remember flying down to Detroit, had the MRI, one day, had the surgery the next day, and come back. The goal was to, be ready for World Juniors, my 19-year-old years.
And in order to do that, we were like, man, there's a lot of work that needs to be put in here from your first labrum surgery to get you ready for that.
Shoulder surgeries, just like all surgeries, require time to heal. And when you get an injury, you just can't rush things. You just have to let Mother Nature kind of take its course and heal the injury. But it just seems to me that Jared McIsaac's injuries healed quicker than what people thought.
So to be able to win gold, but especially having to put the work that he did just to make the team, that really showed me a lot of the type of person that Jared is.
And, they said, I got a call from my agent, and they were bouncing it back and forth off Detroit, trying to find an option for me to go play. And this one came through with HPK in Finland. And, at the time, I was super excited, go play. You haven't played for 4 months.
He was excited to go over to Finland, went over there, did everything that we asked of him, and then first shift to go through it again.
Yeah, what are the odds of back-to-back shoulder surgeries? Back-to-back years. Puck came around the right side, and I was playing the right side, and I just pinched in. It was, if you've ever seen the video, it was a nothing play. I just happened to land awkwardly, with my arm kind of at a 90 here, so it looks harmless, but it wasn't. I was pretty devastated. I'm not gonna lie. I was pretty shook up about the whole thing. I called my mom, and she couldn't believe it. I couldn't even believe it when it happened, and I knew exactly what it was going through before. Sitting on the bench, that's what it was.
He was going through a lot, right? Like with the shoulder. So it was just every day was just so detailed on what are you doing now? How are you feeling? What do you need?
It was a tough month after surgery, or, from that time leading up, the 2-week wait before I came home to find out what the MRI images were like, and then coming home, getting the surgery, and then, here we go again.
I've got to really give that kid a lot of credit because he's done everything that we've asked for. And we've asked a lot of him, like a lot of early mornings, a lot of late days, and he's done nothing but put everything that he's got into getting better, but also to still develop.
Remember when Cronwall first came in? He broke his leg in a warm-up in Los Angeles. He hit a rut, snapped his leg in two. Then we were in Colorado, and he got checked along the boards, and the guy's skate came up and chopped off part of his nose. So he was always hurt. It seemed like when he first came up, and then after that, he was pretty healthy.
I was obviously really excited to start playing again. Not playing a game for almost, I think it was close, if not a full year, from when COVID hit. Then we stopped when I was in Moncton, and then to be able to play in Grand Rapids, I think it was pushing a year. But I was ecstatic. I couldn't wait to start playing.
When he came back last year and played, I thought his very first game was excellent. Played almost like maybe 23 or 24 minutes that night, which made it, that's not easy coming back after essentially missing a full year and a half.
He's 21 years old. Usually you don't really start reaching your peak as a defenseman until you're a little bit older, maybe 23, 24 years old. You have to play to learn the game, and they can tell you how to play, and you can practice all you want, but when you get into game situations, that's how you're going to get better. And so he just needs to play now.
Mentally, it puts your mind at ease, feeling that, knowing that, now I have both shoulders done. So, there's really nothing to worry about as long as I keep them healthy, keep them strong, all that stuff, all that, putting the past 2 years, behind me.
Yeah, I think one thing with Mac is, he's a smart player. I think he's a guy that should be able to play in all situations and on both sides of the puck. He's a guy that's, you're hoping that turns into a good 200-foot defender. So I think he's just a player that really you can count on to kind of play all situations, and those type of guys are valuable.
Sky's the limit for Jared McIsaac. It's how bad and how willing is he to to go ahead and move along with his career. And if he continues to put the work in like he has been in the past, I think he's going to be a solid defenseman for the Red Wings for many years to come.
Not having a summer, past two summers to train, it's nice being able to be in the gym and do full body exercises, be able to skate and shoot. But a lot of work this summer, making sure my shoulders are healthy, my body's in a good spot coming in for camp, and that my game's in a good spot coming in for camp.
For the last couple of years, and that third pair with Jake Christensen, who had a great year out of Everett in the Western Hockey League last year in his first taste of American Hockey League life for the Monsters. A dynamic player, a great skater, offensive-minded defenseman, and Cole Clayton, a young rookie out of Medicine Hat that Monster fans are excited to see play on an AHL contract in Cleveland this year.
And let's focus on the goaltenders right now. And for the Columbus Blue Jackets, you have in goal, you have Emerick Despartie, and what can you tell us about him?
Yeah, a couple of seasons in the Quebec Major Junior League last year with Gatineau, 7 appearances, went 2-3-2, 2.52 goals against, .890 save percentage, and on this roster on an invite to this tournament, and excited to see him after getting some reps in development camp with the Blue Jackets in a game setting here today after Jet Greaves got the first 2 games of the tournament for the Jackets.
Jan Bednash is the goaltender for Detroit, and we've seen a new goaltender for Detroit in each of the games so far, Art.
Right, certainly. They have 3, and by God, they're going to use all 3 of them. And Bednash's turn, he's between the pipes tonight. 4th-round pick in 2020, 107th overall from the Czech Republic. Played in the Quebec the league last year, had a good year, but this is somebody who obviously has a lot of potential. Eager to see him in today. He's a big netminder too, much like Sebastian Kosa.
Yeah, 6'4" and over 200 pounds. So, they've got some towers back there. We saw Bratstrom, Kosa, now Bednosh here today.
Yep, they don't make him like Roy Edwards anymore there, Kenny.
All right, let's go downstairs. Both teams are lining up on the respective blue line, and it's today's national anthem. Let's go down to center ice.
Fans, teams, and scouts back to Center Ice Arena for Day 4 of the 2021 NHL Prospects Tournament. Tonight's game from West Rink pits the Detroit Red Wings against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Folks, at this time, we ask if you are able that you please rise and remove your hats for the playing of the Star-Spangled Banner.
Red Wings and the Blue Jackets doing battle here at Center Ice Arena in Traverse City, Michigan. Just a reminder that today is the final game of the prospect tournament for the Red Wings, but we are staying in Traverse City for Red Wings training camp, which will be presented by Huntington Bank. Also, fans, keep an eye out on Red Wings social media for some streams during the practices. And on Sunday at 12 noon, next Sunday, the red and white game, and that's always a lot of fun. All games and training camp shows will be on the air on Detroit Red Wings Facebook, YouTube, and the website. So we have a fresh sheet of ice, a good crowd on hand here as the fans getting to witness a couple of teams that, for the most part, have been in the same division together, right, Tony, for a number of years.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to certainly this, a little bit of a new, fresh sort of look at this prospect tournament for the Blue Jackets with some of the recent draft choices, and excited to see what will unfold.
All right, we're underway here on this Sunday afternoon into an evening as Spazel lays it up the right side, and now it comes out towards center ice, shot back into the Detroit zone, and right off the get-go, we're 12 seconds into the game, and a quick icing call assessed against the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Well, we'll get an early look here at Sillinger and Chinnikov and Angle, that big top line for the Blue Jackets, and of course, Igor Chinnikov has been electrifying with 3 goals so far in a couple of games for the Blue Jackets here, and see if he'll unleash that great wrist shot of his.
Certainly has a very good shot and a variety of shots as well. And from the face-off, Chinnikov lifts it up the left wing boards. Angle moves in, left circle shot, didn't get it on target, wide of the goal. Spazel taps it into the corner. Red Wings dig it loose. That's Veleno. His pass hit a broken stick out onto the ice. It belonged to a Red Wing player. Spazel after it, outside rim of the right circle, bumped it along the boards. Now it's picked up, played out in front to Sillinger. Skates over to the left circle, bumped it back to Holm, and Holm will fire the puck around the boards as the Blue Jackets pressure the Red Wings early in this hockey game. No score, we've just begun. Hannes with a pass out to center ice. Tutayev on a long shift will just play it deeper into his own zone. Ubacher has it, now lifts it up the boards and away from Chase Pearson. This one travels down the ice, and icing is called again against the Red Wings.
Well, so far, a little bit of a feeling out process, it seems like. I can't really say one team's established anything. We're only 58 seconds into it thus far, but little more play, I guess you could say, in the Detroit end.
Josh Dunn's out there right now, Tony, for the Blue Jackets, and he's looked pretty sharp so far in the tournament.
Really has, and again, in that leadership role, wearing the captaincy for the Blue Jackets, played his college hockey at Clarkson University, and again, seized a really big chance to not only get some AHL but NHL games under his belt at the end of last season. Looking forward to his first full pro campaign.
And you've seen him quite a bit, right?
Sure, yeah.
Pass out in front, and a shot from right out in front of the goal, and a pad save by Bednash. Sillinger's looking for a penalty call, but the play goes into the corner. Pearson, roughed up and along the boards. It's shot down the ice, and this will be another icing call. Foot race for the puck, hustling after it and getting there first. Christensen, the Columbus Blue Jacket defenseman.
Yeah, back to Josh Dunn just for a moment. He's certainly a big body guy, plays a 200-foot game, great in the face-off circle. I know, the coaches and the staff really excited about what he can bring to the table as he matures.
Bednash actually made 2 really good saves. I mean, back-to-back there. Gave up a little bit of a rebound. Went low, though. Covered it low and showed some nice pads look good.
Those big goaltenders, sometimes the problem they have is when that puck is right down below them in their skates, Art. Sometimes it's hard for them to see the puck. But he covers a lot of the net, and that's one thing I've noticed about the Red Wing goaltenders right now is they seem to be drafting those big, tall goaltenders, and by the time they become players in the National Hockey League, they're just going to fill out that frame. Now after a little bit of a confab, they're just going to bring the face-off out to center ice. That's what you like to see, Tony. You like to see them just intermingle against each other, with each other, and if they don't like the call they made, they just bring it out to center ice.
There you go.
Got to find that consensus sometimes, Ken.
Sometimes you just got to hammer it out amongst yourselves.
That's right.
We've always said hockey officiating, very consistent.
No score here in the opening period. Brubacher with a shot off the leg. It's along the right wing boards, and now it's lifted ahead out to center ice, and it's knocked down at the blue line. Going in after it there is Gaudette deeper into the zone. Now a glove pass, and the play is whistled down. It's a little bit of a choppy start right here, and we saw the last game against St. Louis, Art. That was very physical, but a lot of stoppages so far early in the game.
Maybe from the Red Wing perspective, since this is their third game in 4 nights and they play back-to-back, that maybe stoppages in play is not too bad right now for them. Find their legs.
Reynolds out there for the Columbus Blue Jackets, and from the face-off right down below us, it's Mutter steering it in behind the Red Wing goal. Brubacher played it around the left wing boards. Now it comes out towards the top of the circle. Mutter gets away from traffic, moves in with a shot, and that's blocked off to the side of the goal. Up the left wing boards. Toporowski is checked, and now it's hammered back deeper in behind the Detroit goal, and Bednash to play it into the corner. Landowski laid it ahead, and here come the Wings back the other way. Verbeek, a lot of speed, makes his way over the blue line. It's Fazal. Boyd intercepts it for the Blue Jackets, lays it ahead, 2-on-1 developing. Here's a pass to the trailer, home over to the right side, and they score. And the Blue Jackets take that 1-0 lead.
Yeah, Peter Reynolds there with a nice give-and-go play there off in transition from Ole Julian Björkvik home, and that was a great heads-up play. You catch that pass at the top of the slot, you feed it right back to the guy who delivered it to you into the back of the net, and an early lead for the Jackets.
Absolutely right, Tony. That was a really nice play. Give Columbus credit. I mean, how many times have we seen it during the tournament? Kind of a wide-open net there. Bednash really couldn't do anything about it, and boom, the shooter misses it, but not this time. Columbus takes the lead.
So quite the celebration after the goal, and it only took 2 minutes and 34 seconds of the first period for the Blue Jackets to get on top 1-0.
This will be key right now for the Wings. They're a tired club, and see exactly what they're made out of. They've got their top line out there right now, and their top defenseman.
Tipped out to center ice. Chinnikov will lay it to the Detroit line. Swept back out to center ice. Cole Sillinger to his own blue line, lifts it across. Now Christensen laid it out to center ice off the skate of Sillinger. Valeno tossed it back, and Sabrango will fire that puck into the Columbus zone. 1-0 Blue Jackets. Sillinger in deep, in behind his own goal. Motors it around the near side to Engel. Engel takes it deeper to his own end, chased down by Joe Valeno, who stole the puck. Now Engel tosses it right circle, and the Blue Jackets come away with it and bring it out to center. Christensen with a feed pass. Chinnikov drops it to the trailer. Sillinger with a feed over to the left side, and that's off a Red Wing stick into the corner. Sillinger has it again. He plays it down low. Christensen sends it out in front. That one deflects into the corner. Going in after it for Detroit. That's Tutayev, and now it comes out to center ice as they battle for it just inside the Detroit blue line. Now the Wings, Tutayev up across the line, belted by Christensen. That puck floats out to center ice, pushed back across the Blue Jacket line. Sillinger long shift. Got it back inside his own zone, and Keene will pick it up as the Blue Jackets now will play it up the right wing boards, back into the Red Wing zone, and Jared McIsaac to scoop it up for Detroit. Well, tempo picking up after a pretty choppy start, Tony.
Absolutely. That early goal certainly energizing the Blue Jackets here, and good to see some nice physical play there from Jake Christensen. He's an offensive-minded, puck-moving defenseman, but he can step up when need be. We saw plenty of that in Cleveland last season.
Now Cross Hannes over the blue line, left circle with a shot, trying to go upstairs, and he shot that one high off the glass, and he didn't get it on target. Puck picked up, and Keene lifts it up the right side, and here they come. Malatesta to the Detroit blue line. Hannes intercepted it. Cross Hannes, quick feed ahead, moving in over the blue line. Pasquale Zito with a shot, and Despati made the save.
Columbus has been ignited energy-wise with that first goal, but the Red Wings, key moment, as I keep saying, right now for Detroit, but they've seemed to match the energy level of the Blue Jackets and had a couple of scoring chances themselves.
Well, the face-off is off to the circle to the right of Despati, the goaltender. 1-0 Columbus. And from the face-off, Red Wings knock it down. Butler with a shot short side, and that one wide of the goal. Staubel almost got his stick on the puck, and play comes back towards the outside rim of the left circle. Toporowski jammed it in around the end boards. Penalty coming up. Gaudette touches it, and the Red Wings will go on the power play, and it's the first man advantage of the hockey game. Not as physical as we saw against the St. Louis Blues, but the Red Wings did have a power play goal in that last game, but the Red Wings now will send out their power play unit of Tatayev, Veleno, Pearson, McIsaac, and Hannes.
Well, looking at it this way, I mean, this is the firepower with Berggren and Raymond not playing in tonight's game. Obviously, Lucas Raymond had the power play goal last night. So, interesting to see, really, Chase Pearson, be nice if he could pop one in here. Veleno's now on the point. So a little bit different configuration than we've seen the first couple of games, but still firepower out there for the Wings.
Good chance for the Wings here. Pearson drops it back. Here's a shot by Hannes, and that one in off the end glass. Back towards the line. McIsaac holds it in, and it's got it over to the left side of the ice for Tutayev. Spins with it. Outside rim of the left circle. Watched by Engel. Pearson to Tutayev. He turned it over, and an odd man rush coming back the other way. Chinook up across the line. Feed pass in front, and they score right out in front. Cole Sillinger with the backhand, beating Bednar, and it's a 2-0 lead for Columbus.
Out of all the Blue Jackets, he's not the one you want to see breaking in like that. That was a beautiful move. Nice backhand at the end.
And a nice find, too, there off the rush by Tyler Engel, who sort of created that play back at the top of his own zone. Engel, again, a guy that got a great chance in the American Hockey League with Cleveland last year and took full advantage, signing an entry-level deal with the Blue Jackets as a result. But 24 points in 23 games, including 14 helpers last year for Engel on the great setup and great finish by Sillinger.
Maybe it's me, but I really do like the way that the Blue Jackets seem to communicate really well out on the ice among each other. Maybe they might be used to playing with each other more than Detroit's team, but
well, those shorthanded goals really take the momentum and the wind out of your sails. So the Blue Jackets have a even strength goal, a shorthanded tally, and the Red Wings are still on the power play for 1:08.
A big collision there along the end wall. Josh Dunn upended from behind.
Toporowski tried to lay it out in front of the goal. It's intercepted. Bernie wheeled it around the boards, finds the opening, and drills it down the ice with a pushing and shoving back behind the play. As the Red Wings pick it up at center ice, here is Zito making his way in. Knocked off the puck. New Power throws it into the corner, but it's intercepted, and Staubel will lay that puck back into the Detroit zone. Alex Cotton checked in along the boards. Puck swings free, comes out to center ice. Blue Jackets shoot it in. That's Clayton right to the front of the goal. Bednar the save, and Now it's Cotton laying it ahead to center ice. The Wings on the attack. In over the blue line to Tayev. Now to cross Hannes over to the right side for Veleno. Wings set up on the power play. Hannes moves it to Chase Pearson in the slot. McIsaac left circle. One-time shot from the left side by Tutayev, and the save made by Despati.
Nice save.
Pearson trying to jam it loose. It's picked off by Svazil, and he will find the opening and drill it down the ice. So Tony, big penalty kill, and they get the shorthanded tally from Sillinger.
Absolutely. Great start here, and going back to that little conversation behind the play, two former teammates, New Power and Dunn, going at it right there.
It's always got to be tough, right? When you're former teammates and you got to compete against each other after being teammates.
You know all the strengths, you know the tendencies too.
Now Latesta moves in with a backhand. Bednar made the save. The Jackets have it inside the Red Wing zone. Mutter with a shot, and that one ends up off the glass into the corner. Christensen in deep. He's checked. Comes back towards the line. Keene with a blast, a dipping shot. Glove save by Bednar.
Great movement there. Great release from out high. And midway through this period, great position for the Blue Jackets.
Get a look at that save. There's a shot back in behind off to the side of the goal. The Wings dug it loose to Tayev. But Tutayev in where the action is, and
right.
It seems like he's not afraid to cut to the front of the net.
No, he's got a nose for the net, and he's not the biggest guy either, but he's more than willing to sacrifice his body to make a play.
Quick whistle out to center ice, and the play is whistled down. So there's 12:03 to go here in the opening period. A quick 2-0 lead for the Blue Jackets.
Well, so far, again, it's guys like Cole Sillinger finding a way to be involved in both of those goals there with the nice finish on the second, and right now it's sort of the top of the line chart getting it done for Columbus.
Yep, and they've got that top line out there right now. It's Sillinger, Chinnikov, and Engel. Red Wings have T-Bone Cott out there with Walker and Hayden Verbeek. Blue Jackets shoot it in, and Bednar made the save, and the Red Wings come away with it, turn it over inside the zone. Engel got a little piece of it to move it down into the corner. Red Wing Adam Brubacher steers it up the left wing, out to center ice, and coming back to steal, that's Sillinger again. In over the blue line, pass to Engel into the right circle, chasing him down, Walker into the corner. They battle for it there. Puck loose, Sillinger goes down on one knee, and the Red Wings come away with it. Verbeek to Walker at center. Flips the puck around the boards and behind the net. Sparty plays it around the near side as the Red Wings player Toporowski holds it in. Clayton scoops it up behind the Blue Jacket net. Columbus out shooting the Red Wings 6-3. They've got a 2-0 lead. Even strength goal and a shorthanded tally here in the opening period. Quick change by Columbus as Cotton brings it ahead to center ice. Flips it high into the air, into the left corner in the Blue Jacket end. Zito in after it for Detroit. Stick handling to the right face-off circle. To the blue line. Cotton with a shot, and Despartie makes the save. The rebound. Around the boards, into the corner it goes. Zito moves away from traffic, hands it back to Butler, to Cotton. Cross ice feed to Sabrango with a shot. Despartie made the save. That one rolled off the crossbar, off the top of the net, and now cleared away. That was close.
It's the way it's been going for the Wings in this game, but nice play. They sustained some pressure in the Columbus end. It's always good to see.
Red Wings break out again, out at center ice. That's Toporowski. Now it's stolen by the Blue Jackets, and bringing it forward is Svazil. He'll roll it into the Detroit end. Sabrango taps it around the boards, and Sabrango was involved in a fight with a guy of St. Louis yesterday.
Right. He went, somebody had to do something. I mean, St. Louis was just taking liberty after liberty, and Sabrango sacrificed himself a little bit.
It's an injured Red Wing who went down in the corner behind the play, and that looks like T-Bone Cod. And boy, the Red Wings have just been decimated with injuries in the prospect tournament as Cod makes his way over gingerly towards the side of the Red Wing bench.
Well, that would be, going with only 9 forwards would be rough.
Especially playing 3 games in 4 nights.
Right.
The bench is getting pretty thin.
You might have to leave the booth, Ken.
Look at me, Art.
Tony, how are your legs?
Well, not since I graduated high school, really, are they in any kind of playing shape. So that was a long while ago.
Joe Veleno with a shot, takes a hit by Clayton after the whistle, and the play is whistled down. Well, Joe Veleno couple years ago when the Red Wings won this tournament, was probably the best player on the ice for Detroit.
Yes, he and Mo Sider probably. But yes, you're right. Offensively, Joe Veleno definitely led the team. And he really wants to lead really well. I thought he got caught up last night a little bit maybe trying to do too much himself and not simplifying the game. And he looks a lot better tonight as far as playing within himself.
Now Reynolds over the line, tried to pull the trigger, fanned on it. It ends up to the left side to Mutter, and he'll play it in behind the Detroit goal. Tutayev slapped it off the left wing boards. And back to the Columbus Blue Jacket line. Bernie with a bouncing, rolling puck, steers it out to center. Tutayev intercepted it, turns quickly back the other way into the Columbus zone, pivots, moved it back in the line. Brubacher with a shot, and that went off a stick and wide of the target.
He's a smooth player, that Tutayev.
And again, he's not afraid to go to the front of the net. He's got it in the corner, pushed off the puck right there by Keene. Walker in there to dig it loose, gets it to Tutayev again. Tutayev knocked down by Keene, gets up on one knee as they still battle for it off the end boards. It's scooped up by Veleno to New Power from the left point. Now makes his way into the right face-off circle, swings it into the high slot. Cotton with a shot, save made. Despartie, he's down in the goal crease, pushing and shoving as the Blue Jackets are cleaning house right out in front of their netminder.
Yeah, good job by Keene there at the end of that last play after the save was made by Despartie. But again, nice movement by the Wings and nice look for Cotton there from out top.
Well, one thing I like about Alex Cotton that I've seen in the couple of games here over the weekend is that once he gets the puck, he's ready to shoot. Good, hard, accurate shot, too, and he finds himself in position. He does give himself some time and space.
Well, it's 2-0 in favor of Columbus. 8:12 to play in the opening period. From the face-off, Hayden Verbeek chipped it in behind the Blue Jacket goal. Sillinger, he's played a strong first period in there, and now Cotton with a shot. Knocked down in front, rebound, left corner. Zito has it. Zito checked by Svazil in along the boards. Now it's Hayden Verbeek snapping it around the dasher behind the net to Zito. Zito turning at the right face-off circle, turned it over. Engel flips it end over end out the center. It's gloved across by Detroit, and Tyler Engel will pick it up again. Steers it across the home, not an Engel up across the line. Knocked it down. Engel circles the Red Wing goal on a wraparound, and that puck is loose and did not go in. Referee was in correct position, looking in behind as the puck is shot towards the front of the goal by Chinnikov, and Bednar with the save.
I'm not sure if Bednar or Cotton, they didn't know. They thought the other guy had it, but they knew they didn't or something. It was a very odd play. I don't know how it did not go in.
Yeah, Engel trying that wraparound really from behind the net as opposed to the side of the net there, going for the bank shot. And it's those kind of instincts that were so productive for him last year in the AHL.
I want to remind you fans, the Red Wings preseason is coming up Thursday, September 30th. Red Wings take on Buffalo at Little Caesars Arena. Additional preseason games against the Blue Jackets, Pittsburgh Penguins, Chicago Blackhawks on sale now. For more information, get your tickets, visit DetroitRedWings.com, and it's always fun to have fans in the stands, isn't it, Tony?
Oh, just absolute breath of fresh air, and looking so forward to getting back to that on a more comprehensive basis this year.
Alatesta inside his own zone, played it across to Clayton. Hammered it out to center ice. Toporowski is belted along the boards by Josh Dunn.
Todd's back out there, by the way. He got shaken up, but he's back to his regular shift.
Dunn flips it ahead to Christensen, up across the line. Feed past to Dunn with a backhand, scores!
Whoa.
Over the glove of Bednar and into the net. 3-0 Columbus.
I don't know if that surprised Bednar or not. He didn't think that Columbus was really just allowed to skate right in and make a play. I mean, let's be honest here. I mean, that was kind of a lackluster effort by the Red Wings.
Well, it kind of looked like Dunn was going to pull that puck back to his forehand before he released the shot, but that quick release on the backhand, as it so often does, catches the goaltender off guard, and great instinctive finish there from Dunn.
Absolutely right, Tony. I mean, that's the shot, too. That backhander is the one that really messes goaltenders up.
Sneak up on you.
Yep.
One of the notes that I have on Dunn is that he's actually a pretty good passer, but that time he broke in, showed some nice skills, and scored the goal. So quick 3-0 lead here in the opening period for Columbus. Both teams with 8 shots on goal. One power play in the hockey game went to Detroit, but the Blue Jackets netted a shorthanded goal while the Wings were on the man advantage. Out at center ice, Bernie flips it to the left side of Bednar. Into the corner, Sabrango dumped that puck around the right side for Cross Hannes. Rink wide feed, Landowski up over the line, tosses it around the boards and behind the Blue Jacket goal. Keene, the first man to play it ahead to Bernie. Bernie tapped it out to center ice. Brubacher intercepted it, laid it across to Sabrango, waits for his teammates to get onside. Now Hannes to Butler, his shot partially deflected, and that one goes wide of the goal. Hannes laid it back on the line. Brubacher tapped it forward. Keene steered it out to center ice for Columbus. Now it's center Reynolds. Chased down by a couple of red and white sweaters. Now it's picked up. Reynolds with a shot from a sharp angle and knocked away by Bednar. Blue Jackets have it again inside the Red Wing zone. Long shot from the blue line by Reynolds. Ends up in the left corner. Now along the right side, that is home with a shot redirected by Boyd and a shot from the right side, and that one did not go in.
Sharp angle attempt there and great coverage from right to left for the goaltender.
So the Blue Jackets continue to apply the pressure. Walker out at center for Detroit. Intercepting it home, and he'll fire the puck around the boards into the far corner, and the Red Wings will set up shop right there.
I know the shots are almost even, but scoring chances far outweigh Columbus here as far as quality ones. They're buzzing all over the Detroit net.
Yep, they seem like the sharper team so far here in the opening period as the play is whistled down offside. Let's take a look, Tony, at the last Columbus goal, and what do you point out here?
Yeah, we'll see Josh Dunn here coming out of that left circle into the slot. And again, we talked about that backhand. Didn't try to twist his torso back to get to his forehand. Just sort of went with what the play gave him, and quite effective there to the glove side.
You know, you almost have a scouting report is like, go backhand glove side on Bednar, and you might get a goal. Seen that a couple of times today. Of course, again, the backhand shot. That's what I always loved about Henrik Zetterberg, Kenny. It's his backhander.
If you ask any goaltender, they'll tell you that's the hardest shot to stop. You don't know where the puck's going.
Well, you know who used to talk about his backhand all the time, Ken?
Red Berenson.
Exactly.
You shake hands with Red, he shakes his backhand.
Right, there's no doubt. There's no doubt.
There's Angle up across the line again. He stopped. Walker quickly back out to center ice. Played it over off a stick. Sillinger at the red line. Spins with it. But the Red Wings control inside their own zone. Wyatt Newpower setting up shop in his own end as the Red Wings complete a change on the go. Drops it off to Jared McIsaac. Nice interview by him before we started this hockey game as the puck is lifted out in front. Trying to jam it home. That's Chase Pearson. He put it between the wickets, and the Red Wings are on the board on the goal by Pearson.
Feeling good for Chase. I mean, that's what needed to be. Somebody needed to step up for the Red Wings. I'm not surprised that it's Chase Pearson. He's had a good tournament. He's growing his hair out, wants to look like Samson now instead of being called Peach. Kenny's favorite nickname for him. But just a great play. I mean, he saw the puck there. Goaltender did not have it covered up in his crease, and he just drove it home. Good, tough goal, something the Red Wings needed. They really needed a momentum changer or shift or something to feel good about, and that should hopefully prop them up a little bit because Columbus has been very, very good this period.
And Art, look who was in front of the net, too, was Tutayev. And we mentioned he's not afraid to go to the front of the net. He's not the biggest player in the world, but he's got a lot of heart, and he was trying to cause some havoc right out in front.
Well, we've seen some guys in Red Wing uniforms not afraid to go to the net, like not the biggest guys, like a Dino Cicerelli.
Pat Verbeek.
Pat Verbeek. Best nickname in hockey ever. Little ball of hate. But we love him.
Well, the Blue Jackets had some players like that, too.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's really, no matter what level you're at, that's how you score goals, right? You get to the front of the net, and you put yourself in a position. You make yourself tough to remove.
You know, when you talk about to coaches about the players, and they'll say, well, they're good on the perimeter, but it's the players that can get to the inside that really do most of the damage and are more effective.
How about Tomas Holmstrom? There's a name for you.
Oh,
he made a living
That's
out
right.
in front.
Yep. Had more goals.
Jared McIsaac belted in along the boards, and now we've got Sticks and getting up, and McIsaac, you always fear that shoulder, and he's
not moving.
No, he's laying on his back, and boy, this would be a tough break for Jared McIsaac.
I think that was Josh Dunn that came in on that collision right along the boards.
Boy, Jared McIsaac has been riddled with injuries. He's had 2 shoulder surgeries, and boy, he was in the corner right now as the training staff is attending to the fallen Jared McIsaac.
Well, it's that sickening silence that falls over the building, and everybody just thinking about Jared right now and hoping he's okay.
Yep, Chase Pearson grabbing his gloves and his stick, taking him to the Red Wing bench. They are getting a stretcher, so this is a very solemn moment, certainly.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, this kid just cannot catch a break, you know. He just cannot. And hopefully this is a precautionary thing, and he'll be set and ready to go when big camp starts on Thursday.
Well, he was in kind of an awkward position when he was checked in along the boards, and it was a big check as we take a look at the training staff. The stretcher's out on the ice, and that is Jared McIsaac, who's laying on his back, and he's really not moving too much right now.
No, he didn't move. He just lay prone, boom, you know. It's kind of like when your body tells you, you know, it's time to take a time out. I mean, that did not look good. I mean, his body language, the way he fell and the way he just stayed prone out on the ice, you know, you take a step back and you just hold your breath, and hopefully, again, and we've seen this many times, that this could be a precautionary thing.
Well, and you see both training staffs are out there attending, which sort of tells you the seriousness of the situation in conjunction with the first responders here in Traverse City, and I'm sure he's going to get looked after, but just a terrible, terrible scene right now, and that hit just from the moment it occurred did not look good.
Hey, it looks, you know, this might be one of these situations, and I hate to speculate, but it looks like they're putting a neck brace or some sort of brace on him, maybe to stabilize that head and to get him up on that stretcher and then take him certainly to the hospital. Because it's very, very gingerly are they working on him right now.
Well, again, in case you're just tuning in, it was McIsaac who went after the puck in the corner, and I believe it was Dunn that checked him in along the boards, and he went in heavily. McIsaac did, fell to the ice, and right now the medical staff is attending him. And pretty quiet here at Traverse City Arena.
Right. I mean, fell to the ice and stayed there. I mean, didn't even attempt to move, just laid out, essentially.
So there's 3:57 to play here in the opening period. Our score is 3-1 in favor of the Blue Jackets. Jackets jumped out to a 3-0 lead, and then Pearson got the Red Wings on the board at 15:45. And strange, we were talking about Thomas Holmstrom, Tony, about making a living in front of the net, and then the play goes down the ice, and McIsaac gets checked, and he is down and not getting up, and they're going to put him on the stretcher right now.
Yeah, it's just the worst possible scene, especially at in any moment, of course, but at an event like this where it's all about getting the season off to a great start. You hate to see injuries rear their head at all.
Yeah, they don't want to roll the stretcher underneath his back. They're trying to they're going to lift him. They've got the head, I think, stationary. There they go. This is a very delicate procedure we're witnessing right now.
Well, I think anytime you have an injury like this, what you really want to do is take the precaution. We see it in football all the time where you just don't want to move the body in case, you know, there's any type of neck injury or what have you. So they want to be really careful that they do the right thing, the proper thing, getting him on the gurney and then lifting him up on the stretcher.
Right, and it appears that he's conscious, that he's telling them certain things, so which is good, because I know that there was a little bit of an interaction between him and Chase Pearson about grabbing his equipment and things, and it looked like Chase was either he was saying words of encouragement to him or they were having a bit of a conversation. But they're definitely stabilizing the head neck area.
Well, this will give us an opportunity to tell you folks about the tickets for all Red Wing home games are now on sale, including the opening night presented by Coke. On October the 14th, Red Wings take on the Tampa Bay Lightning, defending two-time Stanley Cup champion. For more information and to get your tickets, all you have to do is visit DetroitRedWings.com.
Looks like the medical personnel are getting ready to actually hoist him up onto the stretcher and get him on his way here as the fans start to applaud what hopefully is a very quick road to recovery.
And both teams obviously applauding as well. I mean,
Joe Valeno.
Competition you want to win, but you definitely want everyone to come out in one piece and be healthy.
And McIsaac's teammates, Valeno in there with some words of encouragement. Cross Hannes, Chase Pearson skated over, and certainly hope that Jared McIsaac will come through this all right, and he'll get the best medical attention here in Traverse City.
And in the context of the game, it appears as though a 5-minute major penalty has been added here, presumably for the hit. So with just 4 minutes left in this first period, we'll see if the Red Wings can take advantage of it. That opportunity is insignificant in comparison as it is to the recovery of the player.
Well, certainly, right. But, 5-minute major, they can score as many goals as they're capable of scoring in that period of time. So,
well, the fans, the players, pounding their sticks along the boards as they salute McIsaac as he is being taken off the ice on a stretcher in the end to our left.
You always wonder how a team's going to react to something like this, and both teams, because they're human beings. I mean, does it shake you up? I mean, Columbus players are talking to the Detroit players right now, and I think they're just trying to say, hey, look, give us an update too. But this was not nothing intentional, nothing dirty. It's just one of those plays that sometimes happen in hockey.
Red Wings are on the power play, and they want to get some instant goals here. 3:53 to play in the period. 5-minute major penalty assessed to Dunn. Pearson, who scored the first Red Wing goal, gets it to Joe Valeno. The other thing, too, is how do players respond after something like that?
Right.
Tatayev, now to the blue line. Sabrango, right circle, Valeno with a shot. Espati with the save, and the Blue Jackets will tap it up the left wing boards. And that puck finds its way out to the Detroit blue line. Quick feed, Tatayev up across the line, cuts inside, rolls it to the side of the goal. Valeno steers it around, but pinching in towards the middle of the ice was Cross Hannes, and that puck eludes everybody and travels into the Red Wing end. 3:14 to play in the first period. 3-1 lead for Columbus. 4:10 to play in the Red Wing man advantage. Here's Valeno twisting and turning, has an opening. Scoots his way into the left corner in the Columbus zone. Fires it towards the line. Sabrango, left circle feed, Valeno shoots the puck off the iron, and the rebound skips over the glass and into the crowd. He had the goaltender beat, but smashed it off the goalpost.
Goaltender's best friend, as we say over and over and over. Does not even count as a shot on net. Can you believe that? But it isn't. Because if it were, it would have been a goal.
Exactly. Well, the penalty killers, Tony, for Columbus have to do the job right here, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the final 3 minutes here of this first period important, especially considering the lead that was built by the Blue Jackets earlier in the frame. You want to hang on to whatever momentum you might have for the start of the second period here. So this is a big 2:54 for the Blue Jackets.
Well, that's the thing. The key is if Columbus can kill off this long power play, then they have the momentum. If the Red Wings can get a couple of goals out of this, then the momentum shifts to their side and they tie the hockey game. So this is a big power play, no doubt about it. And the referees now are skating over to the Detroit bench and want an explanation about something.
I don't know. I didn't see the timeout signal being given, but perhaps that's... I don't know. The refs are now... They're kind of...
Okay, we just got word that McIsaac's going to have to leave the arena, and they're going to call the period right now, and then we're going to come back and resume, I would imagine, the end of the first period of play. So in case you're just tuning in, sorry about the confusion, folks, but what happened was Jared McIsaac was checked in along the boards. He went down, and the medical staff came out, lifted McIsaac on the stretcher. They took him out, and now they need to transport him out. And because of that, the referees decided that in the interest of all, the best interest of all parties, that they're going to stop the period, and then we will continue the remaining part of the first period, the ending of the first period, tack it on to the second period.
It sounds like that's what's going on, and that information is being relayed to the fans right now. And of course, everybody right now, all we're thinking about is Jared McIsaac and hoping that he is doing okay and headed where he needs to go.
Yeah, yes, really a very sobering moment. And again, not to keep belaboring it, but once he was hit, the way McIsaac went down and just down, and he just was flat on his back and didn't move at all. Said something to Chase Pearson. Immediately, both medical staffs, as Tony pointed out, came out. They secured his neck and head area, were able to get him on a little bit of a gurney, then the stretcher, and took him out, and then they decided we've got to move him. He has to go to the hospital, and so they just ended the period, and that's the right and proper thing to do.
Yeah, I think that's the right thing to do, too. And the Red Wings did play about 1 minute and 3 seconds of that power play, but after the whistle, they figured, well, this is the best thing to do, and you give them, they're the ones controlling the hockey game, right? And I think it's best interest for all parties here that you just continue, tack that on before the second period and give both teams a break.
Yeah, well, I mean, both, you got to imagine what's going through the heads of both teams right now.
Exactly.
I mean, there's, at the end of the day, we're all human beings, and all these guys are hockey players, and to see something like that is the last thing anybody wants to see, especially at a preseason prospects tournament when it's all about what's ahead for the season.
Well, you always say, they're competitive and they're out there and they go after each other, but they know, a lot of them know each other. The one thing that has always struck me as odd, and even in the heyday of the Detroit-Colorado rivalry, after the games were over, where the team, the visiting team, whomever it was, whether it was the Red Wings or the Avalanche, wherever their bus is, you would always see the opposition players there, shaking hands.
Easy,
Sorry about that, Ken. But I mean, there's a camaraderie, and they like each other, and they're able to separate what goes on the ice and then off the ice. So I'm sure that the Blue Jackets aren't feeling real good right now. The Red Wings aren't feeling good right now because everyone's thinking, let's get a report and tell me everything's cool with Jared McIsaac, and that's the best news, regardless of whether we win or lose a hockey game.
All right, I don't know if Carley Johnson is downstairs and she has her headset on. We're kind of trying to fly through this, but if Carley's on headset right now, Carley is not on headset. Okay, I thought maybe we could get a report from ice level, but that's not the case. Carley's not down there. So go ahead.
I was just going to say, I mean, Carley's probably down there and, trying to maybe find out the situation and seeing what's going on because, this is a situation where no one's trying to hide information because they know everybody wants to know what's really happening here. And, we were in the arena, Ken. We were when Yuri Fisher collapsed in the end. They ended the game between the Predators and the Red Wings and played it the next night because both teams didn't want to play the remainder of that game. And as I said, they picked it up. So this is a situation right now where it's just one of those odd and eerie feelings that you get. It gives you a sense of the reality of the situation.
All right, just for our fans who are just tuning into the stream and want to know what we're talking about, what happened was the puck was in the Red Wing zone. Jared McIsaac, who's had a history of shoulder issues, went after the puck in the corner. He was checked, fell awkwardly and along the boards. He fell down. He went on his back. He had to be removed from the ice by a stretcher. Don't know what his condition is. The Red Wings had a 5-minute major power play because of the hit. I believe Dunn was the player that hit, Tony?
I believe so. It looked that way. At least he was the player that was immediately grabbed by, I think it was Pearson, right after the fact.
Okay. And then after 1 minute and 3 seconds of the power play, and there was 3 minutes and 10 seconds, something like that, left on the clock in the first period, the referees and linesmen got together and decided that both teams need a break. They have to transport McIsaac to the hospital, and they will continue on before the start of the second period.
And you know that it was serious because the Red Wings, as Tony pointed out, came in to, all right, hey, that was a little bit dirty. They were going to stick up for their teammate. Then a big scrum was going to happen, and we've seen it all the time. Who knows? It could be 5 guys, going at it, a little bit of a melee. But then they saw Jared McIsaac, and everybody just moved back. It all stopped because everyone wanted to attend to him. So, obviously the guys that were on the ice And, you know, the way McIsaac went down and laid flat on his back, everybody knew that this was a situation that needed immediate medical attention.
And real important to note, too, I mean, there's a lot of adrenaline for these players. For a lot of them, these are the first games they've played in many, many months. And all that is a hard hockey play that went wrong. And so, again, you know, zero intent. That's just trying to do your job on the ice. And unfortunately, in this situation, an injury occurred. And everybody is just thinking about one thing right now, and that's hoping that Jared McIsaac is okay.
Right, and as Tony said, like, you could tell when play did begin to resume, the Columbus players were actually talking to the Detroit players, and you could tell that it was not. They were just trying, hey, let us know what's going on too, you know, and I think you could tell that no one thought that it was intentionally a dirty hit. Although they were going to stick up for their player, no one likes to see their guy go down in a heap. But with that said, once they saw the seriousness of it, they all came together as one instead of two separate teams.
All right, as soon as we have any word on Jared McIsaac, we will definitely pass it along to you, so keep in tune to our stream. Right now we have a video feature on Summer Wings, and we're going to roll that right now.
Oh, Art. Welcome, Art.
Jordan, my man, how are you?
Nice to see you.
So this is it. This is the big house, huh?
Yeah, this is where I grew up.
You know, I got to be honest with you. I grew up in Livonia. I didn't realize that Dearborn Heights had such nice houses.
There's a couple, yeah.
Yeah, this is beautiful, man. This is like a mansion.
A couple. Oh, thanks.
You know, so well, let's look at the place. So
we'll head on in. My old room is over here to the right. Here it is. My childhood bedroom that my brother and I shared for 15 years. It's obviously changed a lot. My parents have made it more of a guest room, but we used to have bunk beds in that right side corner, and then our little school desks on this side. So, yeah, there's a lot of fights in here.
Did you?
Yeah.
Really? Your brother older or younger?
He's older, so I never got the top bunk. We had these little things. I tore a hole in the bottom of his little mattress, and I would store things in there, and I would always write things like goals I wanted to achieve when I was older. Obviously, being a little kid dreaming. So obviously, number one is I want to be a Red Wing, and it came true. So
first Holy Communion pictures. Obviously, your sister.
Mm-hmm. She's in the middle. Yeah. Yeah. She's the angel of the family.
Your brother, who ostracized you.
Yeah.
And this is you.
Yeah. My sister lives here in Royal Oak, about a mile from my wife and I's house, and my brother's out in LA. So. We're trying to get him back home too. So
really cool.
Yeah.
Well, that'll be good. Well, not your Red Wing. He probably has a reason to come back.
Yeah, we got a couple of fish hooks out there. We're just waiting for him to bite.
Not your bathroom.
Not this photo.
All right, Jordan. Well, I guess for lack of better, the dining room, piano room here. Do you want to sit down and maybe bang out a tune for us?
I think I'd make your ears bleed. I did not take that up. I don't think anyone in my family did. It's just kind of like a look. This is a look room. I mean, we weren't really allowed in this area when I was younger, so.
This is one of those things. Don't go in there. We want one
Don't
part of the
break
house.
what's in there. Yeah. No
good.
children allowed.
So you not even chopsticks?
No. I mean, I could come in here and just bang my fingers on the things, but you don't get any sound or any.
And your brother, your sister, your mom and dad, no one can play it.
No one knows how to play it.
Has anybody ever played this piano?
I don't think it's ever been played, honestly. We'll have to ask my parents about that.
Excuse me.
It still works.
It sort of sounds in tune.
Yeah.
It's good. Celebrate Christmas all year round, I see.
I guess, yeah. That's the easiest thing. If you don't take it down, you don't have to put it back up.
Well, there you go. Right. Oh, and the lights are still on it, too. Beautiful. Love it.
You know, I do have to ask you, the piano. Why? I mean, no one can play it.
I play it.
Oh, do you really? Well, yeah, George said no one in the house played it.
Jordan, here we are where it all began for you. The Dearborn Ice Skating Center.
This is where I pretty much started kind of the first organized teams I played on for majority of 4 through 10, and so it's kind of haven't been back here in a long time, so it'll be interesting to see what it looks like on the inside again. Thanks, Art. Thank you.
Well, this is it. This is, someday, I know it's the Adre rink right now, but future Jordan Osterley rink here. How's it feel being back? What has it changed much?
Not at all, actually. I mean, standing here now, it almost seems a lot smaller than I thought it was. I thought the stands were a lot bigger, but it's definitely, it hasn't changed at all.
Just early on, when he was younger, there was just even I could tell, because I'm not a skater, I could tell that his skating ability, especially backwards, was really above and beyond what all the other kids could do.
I always let Jordan go at his pace, and I admired his commitment. He was so committed to everything that he did.
I learned to skate down in Allen Park, and then once I started organized hockey, we played here for about 6 years. So this is kind of really where I started to fall in love with the game and grow as from a little kid to start to somewhat take it a little more serious.
All of our children learned hard work from their dad, definitely. And
I don't think Doug's buying it.
and the support just from not only Doug and I and brothers and his sister, but our extended family. My mom and dad, all my brothers and sisters. We are a complete family.
Nothing beats this, right? Home is where the heart is, and I think it's perfect that we had built a home before Detroit was our home. It's mostly rewarding for me to see him play and have his dream job, let alone be back where we're both from to an extent. You know, we're close, but it's exciting to watch someone so happy.
Jordan calls and he says, "I'm coming home." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know you guys are coming home. They're in Hawaii on their honeymoon." He goes, "No, Mom, I'm coming home." And I just started crying.
Millers, how long have you been coming here? I mean, as a little boy? Or?
Yeah, we used to come here throughout the summers growing up. I probably haven't been here in a couple years, maybe 4 years, 5 years. Yeah, and then when I got through high school, this is the place where you and your buddies would come and grab burgers after school and then go about your days.
All right, well, let's go in and enjoy a burger or two.
Yes, sounds good.
Believe it or not, I've been coming here almost probably as long as you. And if you look at us side by side, you would not think that we have our physiques. We have the cheeseburger.
By eating these.
Yeah, by eating these. What happened to me?
Maybe you've had too many Millers?
Are you going to have several cheeseburgers today? Because this could be the last time.
I think I'll have one cheeseburger and hope this doesn't get aired on the video.
Really? Well, why don't we just show you biting into the legendary Miller's cheeseburger and enjoying it just for posterity's sake, because you may not. This could be it.
This could be my last Miller's burger for a while.
You've eaten cheeseburgers here before, but you're actually eating it as a Red Wing.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I said all day. I mean, it's pretty surreal, and I couldn't be more proud to be a Red Wing or be from Dearborn Heights.
It has not sunk in. I just can't believe it. It is a dream come true for him, and we have always enjoyed every ride.
You know what? I'm just enjoying every single day thus far. I mean, the season hasn't started, and I'm just trying to soak in all the moments and just enjoy these 2 years, and being able to now put that jersey on and play for this team in my hometown and be married and have the support from my family and friends is pretty awesome. It's surreal.
Doug, you're the emotional rock here, so I mean,
Yeah, right.
Are tears going to be flowing down your eyes? I mean,
that day when we're there, yeah, absolutely.
Presented by Athletico, featuring new Red Wings and Michigan native Jordan Osterley there. And Art had a really good time talking to him. But
great family.
The ice has been resurfaced here at Center Ice Arena in Traverse City, Michigan. And in case you're just tuning in, here's what happened. Jared McIsaac was hit along the boards, and we thought it was done, but it was Malatesta, right, Tony?
That appears to be the case looking at the penalties. So Malatesta, the 5-minute, and additional penalty, too.
So the reason why they stopped the period with roughly 3 minutes and change is because there always has to be an ambulance here at Center Ice Arena, and they needed the ambulance to take McIsaac to the hospital for observation, so the period won't start until the ambulance gets here. And let's quickly go on downstairs to Carley Johnson. Carley, what are your thoughts as the Red Wings take the ice here?
Yeah, you hate to see that out of any player, but especially Jared McIsaac, someone who's trying to make and crack the lineup, and he's been someone who's been plagued with injuries. So just watching him overcome the adversity and then seeing something like that, it just gives you like such a pit in your stomach. It was hard to watch down here. You could hear a pin drop throughout this arena. So, hoping the best for him. But yeah, we were waiting for the ambulance. We see a stretcher out here on the boards right now. So I'm under the assumption now that the teams take the ice again, that second ambulance is here just in case something happens.
All right, so both the Red Wings and thanks, Carly. The Red Wings and the Blue Jackets have made their appearance out onto the ice surface here, and they're going to tack on the 3 minutes and change before we start the second period. And again, the Red Wings, as a result of that Malatesta hit, was given a 5-minute major and a game misconduct or disqualification. And the Red Wings have a man advantage for 3 minutes and 57 seconds.
Right, and they'll just like they did the first period, they'll be shooting from our left to right, and then at the end they will switch ends of the ice.
And again, Art Regner is joining me here in the booth. Carley Johnson is downstairs by the bench, and Tony Brown, the fine voice of the Cleveland Monsters, will be handling the play-by-play duties at the halfway point of the second period, and finishing the game is here to my right.
Tony, do they call you Downtown Tony Brown? Is that one of the many nicknames you've acquired?
I will have to admit that one's followed me through many stops in my career.
I figured.
If you had a dime for every time they said it, you'd be a rich man. Right?
And I can assure you I do not.
All right, the first period continues here, and now the play is whistled down. It was a quick offside assessed against the Detroit Red Wings. So 3-1, that is our score. Columbus jumped out to a 3-0 lead before Chase Pearson put the Red Wings on the board. 11 shots on goal by the Blue Jackets, 9 for the Red Wings. Pearson, Hannes, and Tatuyev is out there for Detroit. Blue Jackets win the draw and fire the puck the length of the ice. Sabrango will pick it up, cut in front of Bednar, and he brings it down the middle out to center. Turns it over on the right side. Valeno chipped it up across the Blue Jacket line. Jackets send it out to center, and here's Dunn. Back the other way, moving in, one-on-one. Shoots the puck, and that one was off the crossbar. He just missed.
Right off the rush there, upstairs to the glove side, and that was another nice smooth release from Dunn as he made his way into the Red Wing zone.
And the Blue Jackets already have a shorthanded goal in this game. Leno falls down, knocked to the ice, trying to penetrate that Blue Jacket zone, and Columbus again will wheel it back into the Detroit end. Quick change on the power play for the Red Wings. Wings with a man advantage for 3 minutes because of that major penalty to Malatesta. Detroit trailing by a pair, 3-1. New power, fans on it out at center ice. Cotton gave it away, and Gaudette will find the opening and drill it the length of the ice again.
Maybe this is Columbus and says more about their play, but the Wings look a little discombobulated right now.
There's Cotton with a feed off of Columbus stick into the corner. Clayton in pursuit of the puck. Steers it all the way down the ice. And again, the Red Wings just can't seem to get set up on this power play. Now the puck lifted to the side of the Blue Jacket goal. An icing called against Detroit. And boy, this is not what you want when you have a 5-minute man advantage.
No, again, not to keep belaboring it, but they just look out of sorts right now, the Red Wings. They're going to have to settle down, get back to playing hockey. This is a great advantage for them to get back in this hockey game.
Art and Tony, we do have word on Jared McIsaac. He lost his consciousness after a hit in along the boards in the corner during the first period of today's game against the Blue Jackets. He's now awake and alert, feeling in all his extremities, which is good. As a precautionary measure, he was transported to a local hospital for further observation.
Well, huge relief to hear that news, and again, still thinking of Jared McIsaac after a really, really scary moment for everybody here at Center Ice Arena.
Right, that's a great report.
So there's 1 minute left in the first period. Red Wings trail by a pair. Cotton with a shot, it's blocked. Keene went down to block it, rebound, sent around the boards. It's intercepted though, and this time Tim Birney will fire it back into the Detroit end from his own zone. Red Wings change their power play unit on the go, and the Columbus Blue Jackets have Cole Sillinger out there in a penalty-killing role with Engel as the Red Wings bring it ahead. Out at center ice, Tutayev up across the line, dances over to the right wing boards, drops it back, was intercepted. Now a feed pass. Cole Sillinger trying to cut through defenders. He's got an opening, and he shot the puck just wide of the right goal post. Well, the Wings have given up so many shorthanded opportunities here to the Columbus Blue Jackets.
They really have, and
that's at least the third or fourth good scoring chance that the Blue Jackets have had while the Wings were on the power play.
And no surprise that Sillinger in the mix again. He's factored in the majority of Columbus's goals so far.
Look out now, Blue Jacket player was sent to the ice rather hard. That was Jervik Holm, and tempers flare a little bit at the horn, signaling the end of the first period. So 11 shots on goal for the Detroit Red Wings after 20 minutes, 9 for the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Well, it was a period in which the Blue Jackets really seized control early, and of course that long delay there, and hopefully a much shorter delay before we start the second period. But Columbus has to feel pretty good, Ken, about what they were able to accomplish there, particularly offensively and in transition.
And at the end of that period, Art and Tony, a penalty has been assessed to the Red Wings for tripping, so that'll even things out. And then the Blue Jackets will go on the power play, and Chase Pearson is the guilty party. He's in the Red Wing penalty box.
Yep, and then we'll see a lot of ice 4-on-4, and hopefully the Red Wings can still mount something. But it was not a good way to end the period for Detroit. I mean, the advantage that they had, the major penalty, they could have scored as many goals as time would have permitted in that time frame, and it just didn't happen. We'll see what happens here in the second period. Again, a lot of ice, a lot of room. You would think so that there would be a lot of scoring opportunities, maybe for both sides. Really, again, Columbus has been a very good hockey club again tonight. I thought I like the way that they play a disciplined style. They seem to be in sync with each other, and they seem to be able to communicate well. Our vantage point here on the ice is you can hear them talking to one another, and so they're in sync, as I said. And, the Red Wings are just, whether they're tired, they're only playing with 10 forwards. It was 9 there for a while when Pasquale Zito went out, but he came back. And so, the Red Wings are just going to have to get their bearings, find themselves, because Columbus has obviously shown up to win this hockey game.
And, Tony, who do you think stood out for the Columbus Blue Jackets in the first period?
Well, to me, it's Cole Sillinger. I mean, there were a number of players. Tyler Engel, too, is another guy who, in my opinion, really drove a lot of that offense, particularly out of the neutral zone and on the rush. But Cole Sillinger has lived up to the billing in every way, shape, and form here in his first opportunity in a Blue Jackets sweater.
He was impressive on Friday. When his goal scored, that started to come back for Columbus over Dallas. So he is definitely an impressive player.
All right, they switch ends for the start of the second period. It's a 4-on-4 situation now for 52 seconds, and then the Blue Jackets go on the power play. Columbus with that 3-1 lead. Valeno winds up in his own zone, brings it up the right wing out to center ice, moves away from Mullen, now circles back deeper into his own end. Steers it across for Alex Cotton, who hangs onto the puck, skates in behind his own goal, and now he'll bring it forward for Detroit. Pass up the right side to Tutayev, put on the brakes at center ice, feathers it over, now to Plandowski. Pirouetting away from a check, moves it into the high slot, Cotton feeds it over, Valeno with a shot, and that one off the post and in behind the goal. Back to the line, Plandowski holds it in for Detroit, moves it to Tutayev in the corner, fending off a check with his left arm, sends it back towards the line to Joe Valeno. Now he had his pocket picked, and back come the Blue Jackets the other way. It's Reynolds over the blue line at the right circle with a shot. Cotton got a piece of it, too, deflected away. Now the Blue Jackets are on the power play. Red Wings short-handed. Valeno charges out to center, 1-on-4. Circles back into his own zone as more penalty time comes off the clock. That's Chase Pearson's minor penalty for tripping. Newpower after the puck. Oh, he just belted Sillinger in along the corner. Engel gets in there, so does Dunn. And now Newpower drops the gloves, and he wants to go at one of the Blue Jacket players. We've got a little scrum out there. That's Dunn. So Dunn and Newpower wailing away in that corner.
And especially considering as this fight continues, pretty good one here between Dunn and Wyatt Newpower, a couple of guys who shared a locker room last year in Cleveland. But The best news out of this, especially after what we just saw with Jared McIsaac, is that the player who was hit, Cole Sillinger, was up to a knee quickly, and now he looks to be okay.
And he's tapping his stick on the ice.
And New Power making his way right down below us into the Red Wing penalty box, and Dunn is entering the penalty box as well. You know, it's fun. I don't want to say it's fun. It's interesting that we saw the Wings play a very physical game against the St. Louis Blues. I mean, there was a lot of stick work. There was a lot of big body checks, some questionable plays out on the ice, but
liberties were taken.
A little bit different than what we're seeing tonight. Today really hasn't been that physical. There's been some big checks. Obviously, McIsaac had to leave on a stretcher, but we saw a hit right there on Sillinger, and just not the same type of game as we saw against the Blues, but still there's some big hits.
Right. Well, I think emotions are running a little bit high right now, so anything that's taken maybe the wrong way, whether or not it's intentional or not, you might see an overreaction happening out on the ice. And I'm not saying that, Cole Sillinger went down, and, when you, after what we just saw, when that happens, you do hold your breath. But as Tony said, he popped right back up as New Power and Dunn were fighting.
Again, he's a talented player, Tony Sillinger, and you don't want to see him hurt.
Oh, absolutely. You don't want to see anybody hurt out here. But, yeah, that one had Blue Jackets fans certainly with their hearts in their throats for a moment.
Two-man advantage now as the Red Wings get a minor penalty, so a two-man advantage for 31 seconds. Shot taken by Christensen, and it's loose out in front of Bednar, who's face first along the ice. They still whack away at the puck. Dug loose. Chinnikov settles it down. Rolls it down low to Sillinger off to the side, sends it rink wide. Pinching in is Christensen. Sashaying around that circle, moves it across a one-time shot by Chinnikov, and that one popped up high into the air. Red Wings knock it out of midair. Touched by the Blue Jackets, though, so play continues at the neutral zone at center ice.
Hayden Verbeek.
Sillinger left circle, plays it down low. Now the penalty is over. Plandowski's on. Shot from the left side, taken by Christensen, and Bednar with the save. Back to the blue line. Chinnikov moves in right circle to Christensen. To Chinnikov, stopped it with a skate. Now sends it rink wide, left side of the ice for Sillinger. Spins away from Veleno. On the outside, moves it down low and behind the goal. It's sent off to the right point. Here's Christensen with a shot off the goaltender Bednar into the corner. Red Wings under huge pressure and finally clear the zone and back into the Columbus end. A lot of pressure there, Tony.
Absolutely good movement, and that big shot from the point on the power play for Jake Christensen, something we saw plenty of last year in his first pro action with the Cleveland Monsters, and certainly a player who looks to shoot first.
Here's Sillinger again with a shot. Bednar to save. It's loose behind him, and the Red Wings clear it away just when that puck was ready to cross that goal line.
That was close.
Now Christensen with a feed in front. Rysavy was knocked off balance right out in front of the goal. Pearson has it for Detroit, and he will wheel it up the left wing boards back into the Columbus end, and that was close.
Great pressure there on that power play for the Blue Jackets, and getting the broom out and sweeping that one right off the goal line in the nick of time.
Could have been Brubacher, the Red Wings defenseman, that knocked that puck away as
I think it was.
Bednar lost sight of the puck. Zito checked in along the end boards. That was a heavy body check right there by Gaudette. Puck comes out to center ice. So neither team able to capitalize on the power play. 16:22 to play. We're in the second period now, and it's a 3-1 Columbus lead. Wings break out of their own zone. Shoot it into the Columbus zone. Bernie turns away. He lost his footing along the corner boards. Now it plays up the left side, and scooping it up there is Fonstad. He'll shoot it behind the Red Wing net. Brubacher sends it around the boards to the far side. Zito checked hard behind the net, laying the body out right there. The Blue Jacket defenseman. It comes out to Alex Cotton, turns away from his man. That's Mullen. Cotton battling for possession. Still having words, I believe that's Mullen, and they are still talking to each other as the play continues up the near wing. Zito dropping it back to Tyatt. He's belted right down below us by Boyd, and he's getting up slowly.
Hit in the mouth.
And the play is stopped right out at center ice. He may have been cut right there as Tutayev is bleeding, making his way over to the bench.
It looks like Boyd is being sent into the penalty box there. So a game that wasn't physical for a while is picked up in that regard here in the last few minutes.
Right, but they must have taken offense there, Kenny, with what you were saying.
And a lot of these hits have happened. They're not open ice hits. They're around the boards where it's really dangerous. There's Brubacher right there, Tony, clearing the zone.
Absolutely. Great awareness there to reach in behind that left pad of Bednar and sweep that one right off the line. Otherwise, we'd be looking at a 4-1 game for Columbus.
Right, I'm sure Bednar certainly felt that way. It was like you could almost look out up to the sky going, uh-oh.
Face-off circle to the right. Despati, the netminder for Columbus. Chase Pearson, Red Wing lone goal scored, tried to feed it out in front, broke it up, and cleared down the ice by Stanislav Svazil. Bednar out of his net, hands it off, and here comes Sabrango out to center ice. Gaudette in pursuit. Drops it back to Joe Veleno. Red Wings with a man advantage, trying to make it a one-goal game. Veleno is knocked down as he was sandwiched by a couple of those Columbus Blue Jacket players, and they'll pick it up and whistle it the length of the ice. Again, effective penalty killing, Tony, by the Blue Jackets.
Fundamental stuff here, and you got to credit young Trent Vogelhuber there, who's filling in as the head coach here for the Blue Jackets at this tournament, with Cleveland Monsters head coach Mike Eaves out of commission after shoulder surgery. He's got the boys playing sharp on the special teams.
Joe Veleno, now to Sabrango. Back to Veleno with a shot, and he fired it wide of the goal off the glass. Rebound, held it at the line nicely by Sabrango. In around the end boards, Veleno chases it down for Detroit. Into the far corner, it's wheeled around the boards by Butler. Back to the line, Sabrango to Veleno. Doesn't shoot, brings it back to the right point. Turns away from Gaudette, now to Sabrango. Screen shot, redirected home in the high slot, and the Red Wings score right out in front to redirect it home, Pasquale Zito. And it's a power play goal. The Red Wings have cut the deficit, now 3-2 Columbus.
I know it happened on a power play, but Red Wings are down a couple of forwards. Pasquale Zito, this was his opportunity, and he made the most of it. That's exactly what you want to see if you're Detroit's hierarchy, and obviously if you're a Red Wing fan, that's a big goal. Now it only cuts the deficit to one. Red Wings one shot away. Yet, as Tony pointed out, though, I've been impressed with Columbus. We did their game on Friday, and we're seeing them again today. But one word that I would say describe them as a team right now is that they have cohesion. They seem to be playing together.
Certainly, and no time for Despati, the goaltender there, by the way, to react. That was a nice high tip by Zito swinging through the slot.
Yeah, no chance there.
So the Red Wings pulled it within one, 14:02 to go in the second period now. That was a power play goal for the Red Wings, and that's something that they needed. They've been struggling on the power play over the last couple of games.
That power play looked good, too. They set up. They knew what they wanted to do, with Veleno in that slot area, and then back to the point if he doesn't have a shot.
And again, the Red Wings are playing without the services of Lucas Raymond and Jonathan Berggren today. Wings going with 10 forwards, 7 defensemen. Puck is shot off the stick of Angle and into the Columbus Blue Jacket bench.
Well, the shot count has swung back slightly into the favor of the Blue Jackets here. Pretty even in that regard all day, but in terms, as you said, Art, of the quality scoring chances, certainly seems like Bednar's been slightly more busy in that department than Emerick Despati.
Well, Tony, you were talking about head coaches and assistant coaches, but the Columbus Blue Jackets, John Tortorella not there with the Blue Jackets anymore. What's your thought about the big club?
Yeah, it's going to be a new era, certainly in Columbus, with Brad Larson taking over, and really exciting news for Cleveland fans. Steve McCarthy, longtime assistant coach, won a Calder Cup playing for the Monsters once upon a time, recently promoted to the Blue Jacket staff as an assistant coach. So looking forward to seeing a great guy like Mac get a chance at the next level.
They really love their hockey in Columbus, too, and they've given a lot of teams fits. We talked about how they eliminated the Tampa Bay Lightning in 4 straight games of Stanley Cup playoffs a few years back.
And like we did on Friday, officially want to thank the Blue Jackets for doing that, because that allowed Steve Yzerman to leave Tampa rather early and come here to Detroit and become general manager.
Huge moment for the Columbus Blue Jackets and their great fans. The fifth line there in Columbus, great support, and that's something no Blue Jacket fan will ever forget.
12:45 to play, second period. It's a one-goal game now. Columbus had a 3-0 lead at one point. Pearson and Zito scoring for Detroit to make it a one-goal game. Ward in deep for Detroit, trying to tie up his man along the near wing. That's Mutter going after it. Bonstedt sets up right out in front. Brubacher's got a piece of him, and now it's sent across to the right side. In behind the goal, a feed pass. Ward with a check on his man. The puck to Fonstadt, circles with it, left side, moved it back on the blue line. Christensen now to Svozil. Basel throws it into the corner now. It's checked in along the boards. Ward, Valeno in there with a body check. Fonstad sends it across. Christensen moves in with a shot. Left circle, and Bednar made the save. Red Wings hustle back to Tayev out to center ice. Good to see he's okay after getting hit in the mouth. Played it deeper into the Columbus end.
Bednar seems to be finding his way a little bit. This is going to be tough on him.
Boyd moves in, 3-on-1, shot, save made, Bednar, and the Wings hustle back out to center. Crowd cheers, here's Butler over the blue line, moves in with a backhand, and that one ends up off a stick and into the protected netting.
Pace picking up a little bit here. Both teams end-to-end action, like to see that. Red Wings only a goal down.
Take a look at the last Wings goal here, Art.
You can see Valeno got it back to the point, shot, and just a beautiful tip in by Pasquale Zito.
Yeah, certainly, like we said, creating that traffic in front of the goaltender there, and Despati very little time to react to that one and make the save.
That's always tough for a goaltender. You think you got the angle cut, and then the puck changes. It goes into a different direction.
Right, and you've already committed to where you think the puck's going to be, so you can't move on it. You're kind of caught flat-skated.
Christensen handles it, moves it out to center ice, follows up on the play up across the Red Wing line. It's intercepted, though, by Butler. Feed pass ahead to Hayden for Beek. He falls, trying to penetrate that Columbus Blue Jacket line. Christensen, left side, poked it up the boards, out to center ice. Now the Blue Jackets come away with it. Here is Rysavy moving in with a shot. Bednar the save, and he will hang on to it. 10:56 to go in the second period, 3-2 in favor of Columbus.
I like the fact the Red Wings seemed, they were a little discombobulated to end the first period, and then when the second period began, they started to feel better, and I think Bednar is really starting to feel a little bit comfortable in net, kind of fighting the puck there in the first period.
Hey fans, 2021-22 season memberships for Winged Wheel Nation are now available. Designed with your unique needs and interests in mind, Winged Wheel Nation membership offers unprecedented inside access, unforgettable experiences, and exclusive benefits for the Red Wings' most loyal fans on a year-round basis. Love those Winged Wheel members. One-goal hockey game, Wings down low.
Good group of people.
Puck to the side of the goal, into the corner. Chasing it down there is Bernie, the Columbus Blue Jacket defenseman. Steered back into the Red Wing zone. 10.5 to go in the period. And the Wings, Mason Ward flipping it out to center ice. Following up here is Pearson over the Blue Jacket line with a shot. He whistled it wide of the goal. Cotton holds it in at the left point. Alex Cotton swings it across. Sabrango taps a backhand into the corner. Walker with a check on his man as they go after the puck around the near side. Tim Burney up the right wing. Muscled in along the boards. Fonstad looking on, and the Wings play it away from him. Out to center ice. Knocked off balance was Keene, but Sillinger from the red line dishes it back to behind the Red Wing goal.
Worth noting on that last shift, that top line with Sillinger and Tyler Angle had Fonstad with them instead of Chinnikov.
Here's a shot again off the crossbar, rolls off the top of the net and in behind the Columbus goal. Red Wings inches away from maybe tying it up.
They've hit the crossbar a few times tonight.
It's happened a few times just like that. One-goal hockey game. Now Codd is checked. The play is offside, says the linesman along the far boards. So we have 9:27 remaining in the second period. A one-goal game, 3-2. And at this point of time, I'm going to throw the microphone over. Not necessarily throw it over, but I'm going to give the microphone over to Tony Brown, who's the line announcer for the
Can we get a shot of it?
Cleveland Monsters.
Throwing it.
So take it away, Tony.
Thank you so much. An honor to be with you guys here today. Again, thank you so much for the invitation. And with this one-goal game, as you said, the Red Wings storming back a bit here after Columbus built the lead. Halfway home in this draw outside the Columbus line, forced forward. There he is, Chinnikov. We mentioned him a moment ago. Behind the net, swinging around to the right circle. Finds that weak side defenseman, Björkvik home. His shot blocked, though, nicely. And now tossed below the goal line where it's battled for by Dunn. Wedged back towards the front of the net there, but the Wings take over. And as we hit the 11-minute mark here in the second period, stretch feed to Tayev there, nearly connected, but Svozil a good stick, and the puck deflected away. Now battled for in the far side of the Blue Jackets zone. 9 minutes left in this second period, a 3-2 lead for Columbus. Wearing the captaincy, Josh Dunn out to center. Played it to the far side, back to Dunn. Bouncing puck in the slot. Chinnikov took a swipe at it there and couldn't find that puck and directed on net. Flip back out through center, and Christensen will retrieve for the Blue Jackets. Up the far wall, Boyd slams on the brakes for Columbus. Cycles down deep. Jake Gaudette takes over. He's stapled up along the end wall. Fed around to Clayton on the right point. D-to-D left side. Christensen loads. Slaps that one wide of the net. Picked up by Fonstad to Clayton on the right point. Walks the line. Clayton now on his offhand. Carries past Zito into the far corner. Behind the net. Still controlling. Clayton leaves it there. Gaudette tries to tuck on that near goal post, and Bednar battles through a lot of traffic there and is able to cover, as we've got two separate scraps going on here. One ends quickly and the other now being separated at the front of the net mouth.
That's New Power again, who had a hold of the Columbus player Boyd off to the side. As you mentioned, Tony, another bout, and it looks like the Red Wing player is shaken up a little bit.
And now Boyd
That's
continuing
Ward, I believe.
his conversation there with New Power, and looks like everyone's going to be all right on the tail end of this one. As we'll have, with 8:04 left in the second period, still a 3-2 lead for Columbus.
I don't know. Maybe the Blue Jackets, this team's taking it personally when New Power decided to sign with Detroit. It's something going on because a lot of chatter between Wyatt Newpower and his former teammates.
Well, we talked about it. Wyatt Newpower's that kind of player. I mean, that's what he wants to do to be successful. That's what he told us all last year. The hitting game, that physical game, having his own sort of brand there, certainly something he strives for.
Well, he's certainly been successful at it tonight.
No doubt. Face off right side. Offensive zone for Columbus as the puck forced down along the end wall. Angle pursues, but this one lifted by the wings out to center. Christensen will grab it there, but puck played with a high stick. Looks like the face-off's coming back inside the Blue Jackets zone.
You're talking about New Power, and he's been battling all game long, but he's got good NHL size if you look at him. 6'5", 205 pounds. He's a right-handed shot. A lot of people like those right-handed shooting players, and he's a leader type in the locker room.
No doubt, and he's wearing that assistant captain's A here in this tournament. Certainly earning it by the way he's going about his business. Draw controlled by Detroit, and they'll dump it in. Under 8 minutes to play now, second period. A one-goal lead for the Blue Jackets at 3-2. Jackets try to break out up the left side. Angle, turn back. Now Christensen will wheel at the base of the far circle. Slaps one out to center. It's going to be retrieved there by Oscar Plandowski. But feed that back up the far wall in the neutral ice area. Grabbed by Pearson, who we've seen quite a bit in Grand Rapids over the last couple of seasons. Toss back around the near side of the Blue Jacket zone. Skated out to center. Sillinger, watch closely there. As the Detroit player upended the puck in behind the Red Wings net. Fed to the left circle, and Christensen again creeping in from the point. This time has his shot blocked as Toporowski's going to dump this one right on Despati. And he's going to spit that puck right out for his defenseman, Tim Burney. 7 minutes to go. Second period. One goal lead for Columbus. Puck dumped in from center. After it now, big hit for Tristan Mullen there, the Blue Jackets. Inside the Detroit zone. Puck up for grabs, left circle. Tapped out towards Zito. He couldn't reel it in, and so the Blue Jackets control at center. Deflected puck, swatted in deep by Josh Dunn. I think it hit the linesman there as it made it inside the Detroit line. And the puck now loose in front of the Wings net, grabbed, and considering his options, Alex Cotton slings one out to center for Zito. Knocks it down, darts inside the Columbus zone. 6:20 left in period two as New Power slaps one on there. Squeezed it through a tight area, and the puck never got through to the net. Now it's Veleno. Walks it into the far corner. Spins back, feeds Cotton on the right point. Quick release. That one scalded off a body and wide. The near side of the Blue Jackets zone. Puck fought for there. Detroit still controls to New Power on his offhand at the left point. Goes down the wall with it there. Deflects in behind the Columbus cage. Ricevi rides off his man. That's Pasquale Zito. And this puck lofted out to center. I think it went through one of the rafters here, Ken. So play continues as the puck bounced down and is now forced inside the Columbus zone again with under 6 to play in the second.
Low ceiling here at Center Ice Arena. A couple of times that puck has hit the girder. Always draws a laugh from Pete Skorich, who's to our right.
Does, and I think the official got signaled good like a field goal. And if the 3 points has been awarded to somebody.
You'd think it would be worth something.
Yeah, exactly.
Being able to thread the needle like that.
Yeah, that was a heck of a shot.
all the way down. We've got icing here on the touch. Face-off will come back inside the Columbus zone. This game's had a little bit of everything, guys. We've had some hitting, some rough stuff, some great offense, some good flow through the neutral zone, and some chances off the rush for the Blue Jackets, and one-goal games here late in the second period.
Right, I think it settled down into a pretty good second period, pretty competitive from both ends. The Red Wings seem to get their thoughts and their game together here, and I thought Jan Bednar has looked really good in net for Detroit this period, and he needs to be because Columbus is pressing.
Well, Columbus trying not to touch this puck first here. It looked like a hand pass out along the far wall there in the neutral ice area, and so we'll have a whistle, and the face-off should come back out to center. 5:12 to go, second period, a 3-2 lead for Columbus, and the face-off will be on the Blue Jackets side of the neutral zone. Get another look at this big line. Chinnikov back out with Sillinger and Angle, and all three of those guys have had their chances in this game so far today.
Yeah, they're going against Verbeek, Tutayev, and Cooper Walker, who's over on the right wing. That's a pretty good matchup. This will be an interesting shift out here.
Right. Tutayev becoming the Lucas Raymond of this game, playing virtually every other shift.
Short-handed Red Wings certainly leaning on him as the Straws pushed inside the Detroit zone and swatted right back out to center ice. Ward plays one to Tutayev, and he'll go one-on-one with Ole Bjorkvik-Holm. To the right side, gets the corner on the Columbus defenseman, drives the net, and that puck off the outside of the cage as the Blue Jackets pick up. Sillinger helps out deep in his own zone. And now we've got a penalty coming here on the Red Wings touch. Hooking is called. And that will send the Blue Jackets back to the power play with 4:45 to go in the period.
Tutayev is like, yeah, you're right. It was a hook. Got looking at the player there. I'll tell you what, Tutayev's been impressive this entire game. He does go to the net well. He controls the puck. He has Blue Jackets hanging all over him, yet he continues to keep motoring and keep trying to make plays.
Well, it's interesting right now that special teams has been important as the Red Wings did score a power play goal by Zito to make it a one-goal game, but shorthanded goal by the Columbus Blue Jackets, and in the first they've had three really good opportunities while the Red Wings were on the power play.
I think Tutayev might be in net. He might have got the penalty. He was gloating, but...
Big drive from the right point off the draw. It's Chinnikov again, his fourth goal of the tournament. This one on the power play, wasting no time, and it's 4-2 Columbus.
That was a beautiful shot. Bednash looked, I don't know if he was screened on it, but he certainly did not make a move on it.
Well, that is Igor Chinnikov's game. You get the puck on your stick and off your stick in a hurry, and it's what helped make him the KHL Rookie of the Year last year, won a championship over in his native Russia, and the first-round draft choice of the Blue Jackets, certainly looking very impressive in his first trip to Traverse City.
You know, Tony and Art, I was looking at his statistics and his bio, and he's got a quick blistering shot, and we saw it right there, and he's got a variety of shots in his arsenal in the offensive zone. So, and he's pretty strong at making passes, too. But that was a really nice shot by Chinnikov.
Yeah, he has been impressive.
Power play goal for Chinnikov and the Blue Jackets, and a 2-goal lead for Columbus here. Under 5 to play in the second period. Puck sent around the near point for the Jackets. Gaudette skates it down into the corner. Head back to Svozil, right point. Now Bjorkvik-Holm towards the net from outside the left circle, and that one fended off by Bednar, and now pushed up the near boards. Will be grabbed there by Svozil momentarily to the neutral zone. Butler is able to twist this one in deep to the left of Despati, and the Blue Jackets will quickly try to catch the Wings on a line change here, burning one up the far wall. Tucked down in deep by Cole Fonstad. Played with Jake Christensen, his teammate both here in Traverse City for the Jackets and in the Western Hockey League once upon a time with the Everett Silvertips. Inside the offensive zone now, it's the Red Wings skating this one up the near wall. Sabrango kind of got his wires crossed there with Hannes, and the puck tossed back down into the Red Wings zone. 3.5 minutes to go, second period. 4-2, the lead for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Puck tossed to the top of the Columbus zone. It'll be retrieved by Clayton along the far wall. Now tossed to Christensen, who collects. 3:15 left. Sends behind his own net, and Reynolds will capture it there. Up the right side, and fed out to center. Christensen skates into that loose puck. Stood up on his offensive blue line, and now it's Veleno taking over for Detroit. Veleno had the puck betray him there as it's picked up and chipped by Navran Mutter. The right side of neutral ice. Big hit for Raisavi there on Sabrango, right in front of the Detroit bench. And now we've got a penalty called here, and it Looks like with a little extra shove for Clayton on Tutayev after the play that he'll draw the attention of Sabrango and the rest of the Wings.
Well, Clayton joined the Detroit bench about something.
Some chatter amongst the young men, some feedback on last night's.
Next year we need to bring a boom mic.
You hardly need one here at Center Ice Arena.
Well, we want to include the audience though too. I think
it's amazing how these players get personal with each other, isn't it?
You become well acquainted in a brief period of time, that's for sure.
It's so intriguing how well they know each other's families.
Diplomatically put. 2:40 left in the second period. Power play here for the Red Wings, and they'll control the faceoff. New power in the right circle, connected with Zito in the slot, but no shot materialized, held in by Cotton on the left point. They'll go down the wall. Toporowski towards the net. Centering feed. This one captured by New Power. Feeds it to Cotton and back again. Here's Wyatt New Power, right circle. That one upstairs. Despati looked to get a piece of it, and the puck is out of play with 2:20 left in the period.
I think he got a shoulder on it, and it was a nice shot over there on the right side, but Despati got that shoulder on it to deflect it out of play.
He's done a good job staying engaged in the game despite some stretches without a lot of business, but Emerick Despati getting his first look. Of course, Jet Greaves, AHL contracted player with Cleveland, played the first 2 games of this tournament for Columbus in net, and it's remarkable. His first games, I talked to him this morning, in over a year, as he was with Barrie last year in the OHL and did not play a game.
I believe he had the best goals against in this tournament and the best save percentage. He was really impressive.
Wings control the face-off. Great chance in towards the front of the net there, and that one lofted by Pearson again off Despati and out of play. And a minute 21 remains on the power play with Detroit trying to make this a 1-goal game again.
Art and Tony, one of the differences I see on this Red Wing power play right now, they couldn't get set up. Now they're getting set up and they're getting chances, especially in the slot area from the side and also in front of the net.
Pearson on this draw for Detroit. Able to coax it back to Sabrango. Tutayev lurks on the weak side point there, but this puck jammed up along the far wall, and now here come the shorthanded Blue Jackets as Dunn is across the Detroit line. Joined on the rush by Fonstad, but this one peters out a bit as Veleno takes over. Skated through the right side of center. Try to duck into the Columbus zone. Puck rolls away from him. Svozil able to coax one to his own blue line. Not much further. Delayed offside here in Tutayev. Was unclear if that puck had come out or not. And so offside indicated with under 2 minutes left.
Well, this would be a good opportunity of the Red Wings to pull again to within 1 here before the start of the third period. But you're right. The power play does have... has a bit of a method to their madness at this point, and they're looking good, and it all starts with Veleno controlling that puck and then either trying to shoot or giving it at the high post there on the point, and maybe a tip-in like we saw Pasquale's goal.
Blue Jackets get a clearance off that face-off, and here come the Red Wings. Through center, Toporowski leaves on the left wing. Zito carries behind the net on his forehand. Right point, New Power, center blue, right on for Cotton, and that one along the ice, handled by Despati. Rebound, gobbled up by Detroit, and Zito will feed it back to New Power, and now again at the center blue, it's Cotton. Now Toporowski, top of the left circle, shot blocked by Christensen. That one stung him, and now a clearance for Columbus as Gaudette muscles that one down, and he's drawn a penalty in the process. 1:03 left in the period, 14 seconds left on the initial penalty. Looks like we'll go 4-on-4, and then Columbus will have a brief power play.
Christensen skated right to the bench. I'm sure he'll be okay. He's going to shake it off, but he sacrificed himself on that one.
This is a grueling tournament when you think about it, guys. It really is, because most of these teams are playing 3 games in 4 nights. And you mentioned some players, Tony, haven't been playing for a year, and to step right into the action here, that's a lot of hockey.
It certainly is, but I know these players absolutely love the chance to get some competitive hockey in against, someone that's not themselves heading into training camp. A lot of these young guys excited about, in some cases, their first NHL training camp. And so to get some of that competition in before you even get there is something really valuable. Back into the offensive zone go the Wings. Centering feed knocked away. We're under a minute to go in the second period, and the Blue Jackets now on the power play. Here's Sillinger off the rush into the middle, and Svozil joining the play. Could not get a shot away. Kicked away by Bednar and cleared now by the Red Wings. Another good look in transition there for the Blue Jackets.
They've been good all night on the transition game. They've had a lot of odd man rushes.
30 seconds left in the period. 4-2 lead for Columbus. Here's Sillinger. Across the line, now Chinnikov. Dangerous out of the right circle. Tried to go to the back door. Streaking to the net was done. But the puck off the mark there. Blue Jackets control. Sillinger again. This time his shot blocked in the left circle. Down to the final 10 seconds of the second period. Below the Red Wing goal line. Swept up to Sillinger, far side, connects Chinnikov with 5 seconds to go. Glances at the scoreboard, recoils and fires, and a blocker save Bednar. And time will run out on this Columbus opportunity and on the second period. But 57 seconds will remain on the power play that will carry over to the start of the third period. And the theme today for Columbus, some consistent looks really in all phases of the game, and that was true in the final minute.
I've been impressed with Columbus the entire tournament. Every game that I've seen, this is the second time I've seen them, and they look to be a team that understands, plays within themselves what they need to do in order to win the game, and they are a very, very good effort. And from the Red Wings' perspective, though, I really thought they started to come together in that second period, and I would think that we're in. I think we're going to see a really good third period at this time. I mean, it's going to be a good, physical, clean hockey game, and I think the Red Wings Red Wings, so this is it for us. I mean, this is our last period before we're done. We're only playing 3 games, and this is our third game, so they're going to want to come out with their best effort.
Certainly, and the Blue Jackets here, certainly a lot to build on. Nice to have a 2-goal lead heading into the third period. Of course, winning their first 2 games of the tournament, the success historically that Columbus has had here in Traverse City. I know it means a lot to the players down in that Blue Jackets dressing room to try to add to that tradition for sure. And so a good third period coming up here. Excited for it. And again, still 57 seconds left on that power play for Columbus to start.
I like looking at the goaltenders, Tony and Art, and see how they play. And there's a lot that goes on, the game within the game. I think Despartie has been really good in goal for Columbus. He's made some big saves. On the other end of the ice, I thought Bednar really put the first period behind him.
Right.
And that's what you want to see in a goaltender. It was 3-0. They put the period behind him, came back, and really started making some good saves and being in the proper position. So you want to see that from a goaltender.
Right, and you need short-term memory. You got to lose it if you're a goaltender. You don't even remember what happens in the last play because the most important save is the next one. So I thought Bednar really did react really, really well in that second period.
Our own Carley Johnson is downstairs. And Carley, what do you have for us?
Thanks, fellas. I'm down here with Sean Horkoff, head of player development for the Detroit Red Wings. As we all know, Sean, pretty chippy game out there. We unfortunately saw Jared McIsaac go down. One of the players that you hate to see after facing so much adversity from so many injuries he had. That moment is just so gut-wrenching, especially when you've been watching him for a few years now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's been through a lot the last couple of years with both shoulder injuries, and you never want to see that happen to anybody, but especially a guy that's been through so much. So. Early word is that he's doing better and he's doing fine, and we're just hoping that he gets through that as quickly as possible.
Absolutely. Thinking of Jared McIsaac, and we talk about that chippy game. I mean, it has been a man's game out there last night and today. I mean, people dropping their gloves. Do you like to see that out of a player? I know we saw Donovan Sabrango yesterday and then Wyatt Newpower dropping the gloves today. Is that something you look for, that bit of physicality and confidence out on the ice?
Well, you want to see compete. You want to see teammates or players sticking up for themselves and their teammates. Do we want to see a ton of fights? Obviously, this time of year, not really. But it's part of the game. It's always going to be there. But we do want to see compete. We want to see our guys grow. They're trying to earn spots on an NHL roster, and things like that are going to happen when games get competitive.
We're at a 2-goal deficit here, 4-2. Blue Jackets with the lead, but we saw the first Red Wings goal coming from Chase Pearson, his second of the camp. What are you seeing from him? He looks so confident out there, but also cool, calm, and collected.
Yeah, well, Chase, he's been to a few of these before. We view him as one of the leaders here this week, and he's played well. He's a guy that keeps himself in really, really good shape. He's done a lot to work on his skating the last couple of years, and he looks good out there for us right now.
Developing as a player and growing some long hair. I mean, you develop in that way as well. I was asking him about it, and he said it's making him a little more aerodynamic. So have you noticed that at all out there?
No, but I noticed he showed up with a man bun. I had to take a second take, but for Chase, he's, like I said, he's a guy that we're hoping has a good year for us this year.
Absolutely. And the second goal we saw come from Pasquale Zito, who had an entire season off last year with Windsor of the OHL as they canceled their season. So how reassuring is it to be able to see him net one in a gameplay?
Well, I mean, that was a really tough year for all those OHL players. I mean, tough circumstances to go through an entire year not playing. So yeah, it's a feel-good story for those guys. Lots of them, before we played our very first game, hadn't been on the ice or in a competitive game for over a year. So I think he's been very good tonight. I think he's looked more comfortable as camp's gone on, and brings lots of energy, does lots of little things, and he's playing really well for us.
And talking about feeling comfortable, we saw a few pucks skip behind Jan Bednar early on in the game, but it seems that he, just stayed on top of it, stayed mentally focused, and didn't fold under pressure. Are you looking for that as well in a young player? Yeah,
absolutely. I think he's done a good job of rebounding from that, and he's looked calm, and he's got better as the game wore on, and that's what you kind of want to see. It's not easy. It's his first game, and he hasn't seen a lot of obviously competitive play in pucks. He's played in a couple exhibition games back in his junior team, but he's looked calm and confident here, in the last period.
All right, and I know we're not seeing him suited up tonight, but Lucas Raymond, what have you seen out of him? I know he's had a few good games so far in this camp, so has it been nice to see him get the puck in the back of the net? Yeah,
it is. He's played well. It's nice to see him over here just in general. We're obviously excited to have him. He's done a lot to work on his shot this offseason, and it showed. That's really improved. He's a smart player. He can kind of think his way around the ice. He can pass it. He can shoot it. Even though he's young, you can see he's had an offensive impact in both games that he's played in. So, we're excited for what he can do for us this year.
Another player that has had some offensive impact, Kirill Tatayev, who you told us ahead of camp to keep an eye out on, and now we are seeing why. I mean, this is a guy that not everyone knows about. He hasn't had a ton of background with just a couple short paragraphs in the scouting report. So what did you see out of him, and is it exactly what we're seeing here?
Yeah, I mean, Kirill, he played last year in Belarus, and through his agent and himself, through development guys, like Danny and myself, that expressed interest and want to come over here, sign a pro deal, and come be here in the summer. He wanted to get access to more training and better people around to make him better. He's just a kid that, just wants it. He's doing everything he can in his power to improve, and it's shown his play. He's had a really good summer, and he's off to a good start here in camp. You can see he's got some talent, some offensive abilities. And like I said, he's done a lot to put some strength on it, and it's starting to show, so we're happy he's had some early success.
Art Regner brought up the point that he is from the same hometown as none other than Pavel Datsyuk. So did you see a little bit, there must be something in the water over there. Well, we saw him before the game doing some stick handling drills. I mean, is that kind of a player that you think he's mirroring his play after?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think you'd have to ask him, but I think obviously Pav is one of the all-time greats and for the Red Wings, and his talent speaks for itself. So obviously Kirill would have really tough shoes to fill there.
And last but not least, Joe Villano is kind of the leader of the pack, especially this year, having a little bit more under his belt than some of these guys. What have you seen out of him and having that leadership role?
Yeah, I think Joe's gotten better as camp wore on. I think the first game, he had to find his legs a little bit. He was really good in game 2, and I think Joe's a guy that's done everything we've asked of him, and he's done a really good job of putting on strength. And in the last couple summers, when he went to Europe last year, spent a whole year over there, and obviously came back and played for us when his season was done. So we're looking, he's off to a good start, and we're looking forward to seeing him into camp and into the exhibition and see where he's at.
All right, now I'm going to ask the question that every fan wants to ask you, but I get the access, so I'm going to do it for them. What players, as we're rounding out prospects camp, what players are you hoping and expecting to see wear a winged wheel sweater this season?
Well, that's not up to me. Obviously, that's going to be up to the players. But there's a lot. I think it's going to be it's an exciting time for us. We have some, obviously Raymond coming over, Berggren coming over, some of the young players that we've been drafting, Siders, Villano. These guys are starting to be close to being ready to be able to play. So I think it's an exciting time for the organization. It's an exciting time for the fans. You're starting to see some of these guys and some of these higher picks and guys that are ready to turn pro now being here. So, like I said, but ultimately it's going to be up to them, and their play is going to tell us when they're ready to make that step.
Absolutely. You can't rush greatness.
Yeah. No, you can't. So.
Well, thank you so much. It's always a pleasure. Really appreciate you taking the time. Looking forward to seeing everyone down in Detroit.
Great. Thanks, Carl. See you.
Thank you. All right, fellas, back to you.
Couple great people right down there. Carley Johnson and Sean Horkoff, who is an integral piece of this Detroit Red Wings club as he monitors all those young players, Art.
Right, Horkoff looks like he could still step out on the ice. You know, it'd be like year number 30 in Edmonton, but still, he does a great job. You know what's really interesting about Sean Horkoff is that going back to his playing days, he was at the forefront of all the new isometrics and this mumbo jumbo stuff that I can't pronounce. And he was doing it as a player himself. He's brought that all over to the Red Wings, and their player development department is in really, really good hands with him, Danny Cleary. People of that nature, guys that we know. So it's cool, and it is starting to pay off. This is an exciting time to be a Detroit Red Wing fan because you are starting to see some of the youngsters getting closer and closer and closer. And obviously, when he arrives on Wednesday, the big talk is going to be Moritz Seider, see what he can do. I think most Red Wing fans would be greatly disappointed if he's not in the top 6 of the defensive pairings when the season starts October 14th against the defending Stanley Cup champion, the Tampa Bay Lightning, at Little Caesars Arena.
Well, it is interesting because for many years, I remember when the Red Wings were making the playoffs on a regular basis, the same thing was happening with the Columbus Blue Jackets.
That's right. The Blue Jackets have had a lot of success in sort of establishing themselves as a real competitor in their division, and they've, of course, you mentioned when they defeated Tampa Bay. I mean, certainly a huge memory there. I want to go back just for a second, if we could, to the player development side of things. It's so interesting to see how that has evolved in the National Hockey League. And on the Blue Jackets side, Rick Nash, Chris Clark, who is the general manager for the Monsters, and the rest of their staff, Jarkko Ruutu, Mark Letestu, Derek Dorsett, the development coaches, their goaltending development coach, Brad Thiessen. It's just really interesting to see in each of these organizations the group of people that are tasked with cultivating the young talent and the prospects. It's such an important part of life in the modern NHL.
Well, and I think a lot of that has to do with the hard salary cap, quite frankly, because you're going to have to build your team through the draft now. You just can't sit there and spend, money wildly and pay for your mistakes. That just doesn't happen. I mean, if you're going to have a good competitive hockey team for a number of years, you've got to build from within. You've got to build through the draft because you control these players' rights for a while. And, certainly you're going to have to get super creative once this team becomes that elite level team and who you keep, who you're not, and trying to, maneuver. But, again, Steve Yzerman's been pretty good at doing that. So he's got that kind of figured out. He knows what he's doing that way as well. But I really do think that player development has come a long way. I think, and the reason it has, I think Tony's right, is because a hard cap has forced teams to really concentrate on the draft, not so much the trade deadline. Remember, the trade deadline day used to be huge. It's not as huge as it used to be. What's really big is the draft now. The draft, people point to that draft. Who do we have? What are we going to get? And then, of course, maybe filling it out a couple of days later when free agency hits.
Well, the other thing about the draft, too, is, I don't want to say it's easy. Nothing's easy. But, your top players, if you get a high draft pick, chances are those players are going to play in the National Hockey League someday. But the real key, I think, to everything is finding those diamonds in the rough where you can go into the 4th, 5th, 6th round and maybe get a 7th-round player that's going to come out of nowhere and really be a big part of your team.
Well, certainly. And Tutayev's one of those guys, and Datsuk and Zetterberg were not real high draft choices either. And obviously they turned out to be, two of the immortals in Red Wing history.
Yeah, and in the context of this game, one guy that fits that to a T is Tyler Angle. Now, he's a player, again, that was able to contribute over a point per game for Cleveland last year, but 212th overall back in 2019 in the 7th round, and he has seized his chance. He's now earned himself after his showing last year an entry-level contract with the Blue Jackets, and now he's transformed his opportunity with Columbus. And like you said, I mean, you gotta go deep and make the most out of every last pick you have. He's a great example of what's out there at any position in the draft.
Again, we welcome you to the stream here. We are in the second intermission, and it's a 4-2 lead for the Blue Jackets over the Red Wings with 20 minutes yet to be played. In the booth is Art Regner, and fine voice of the Monsters, Cleveland Monsters, is Tony Brown. He's joined us. Carley Johnson is downstairs. And we all talk about the Red Wings, what we want to see from the young guys, and most Siders aren't mentioned. But what about the Columbus Blue Jackets, Tony? I mean, what's expected for them going into the season?
Well, it's just going to be interesting. We talked about it before. It's a new era with a new head coach in Brad Larson. And right now what I think Blue Jackets fans are most excited about are some of these dynamic young players that we're seeing play even today. Cole Sillinger, Igor Chinikov, and the list goes on. There are a number of guys that Blue Jackets fans are wondering, hey, do they have a chance to make the team this year? Where are they going to be? I think there's a lot of intrigue right now with some of the guys that have been brought in recently in really those top positions in the draft. And for the Blue Jackets fans, they're supportive no matter what. It's a passionate, great fan base there in Columbus. The biggest thing, they're excited to get back into Nationwide Arena en masse with the crowds, with the atmosphere, as we all are, to get back to normal.
Well, I don't know if this is a curse word or not, but for Columbus fans. But if you really want to see maybe the future, go up to Yost Ice Arena on the campus of the University of Michigan and look at Ken Johnson, because he is an exceptional player. And, taken just before the Red Wings took Simon Edvinsson, who they're really, really happy with. But I'm just saying that, Kent Johnson, you put him along the line with not on the same line, obviously, they're different positions, with Zach Werenski, and you got a Let's Go Blue kind of combination down there in Columbus. Who would have thought that?
You sure do, and Zach Werenski, of course, signing that huge deal.
Very surprised. Were you surprised by that? Because people were thinking, well, Seth Jones leaves, because they were the bookends. I thought everybody would want to come to play in Columbus with a pair of young, good defensemen like that. Jones leaves, and boom, but Zach signs. He commits.
I saw for the first time Zach Werenski play in person when he joined us in the Calder Cup playoffs back in 2016, and from that point on, I mean, he's embodied what it means to be a Blue Jacket. I mean, you'll remember he's out there blocking shots with his face in really important games earlier in his Blue Jackets career. He is the guy now in Columbus, rewarded with that big contract, a real leader on that team. And I think he's ready to take a step into the next phase of what has been an outstanding career already.
Well, you're 19 years old, and you're quarterbacking the power play at 19 in the NHL. You're a good player. I mean, and I'm sure I'm partial to him because he's one of us, Michiganders, but still. Zach Werenski, but it's good to see. I was glad to see that, personally for him, but I was glad to see here's a guy who says, you know what, I'm sticking here. This is my team, and we're going to make it work here in Columbus. Good for Zach.
The commitment goes both ways for sure, and so Blue Jackets fans really, really excited about what he can bring to the table this year and what the rest of the team can do. It's going to be an interesting year. I mean, there are a lot of things to see unfold for the first time, including the Brad Larson era.
I'll tell you what, when you get a defenseman like Zach Werenski, or even Dallas that's in this, and you got Haskin in there on the blue line, and Klingberg, I mean, if you get a guy like that, you got to sign him long term. I mean, you're not going to let him get away. Those kind of players are just hard to find.
They certainly are, and he is, it really said everything in his announcement once he signed. He said, this is my home, this is where I want to be. And here he is.
And I love Ice finishes every statement with a Go Blue. No. All right, I'll stop. I'm sorry, Tony.
You mentioned Ken Johnson, though. How about that team all together in Michigan?
Well, I joke with Luke Hughes, who's now a freshman entering. He was taken, fourth overall. I said, people are saying that Michigan's going to be the 33rd team in the NHL, it's a franchise. He goes, let us try to win a couple of collegiate games first.
Well, a 4-2 lead for the Blue Jackets as we start this third period. The puck down, we're underway. Still 50 seconds left in the power play here as the Jackets look to add to what is a 2-goal lead thus far. Clearance here for the Red Wings as Despartie will come out of his net to stop that up. Christensen back to retrieve. Jake Christensen, native of the Vancouver area, hits his own blue line. Skates forward and dumps it in. Rattles around. Down from the right point, Sillinger helping out along the wall. Puck bounces out into the clutches of Tyler Angle. Angle to Christensen now at the center point. Slid back to the left point. Sillinger recovers on his forehand. Spins away from pressure. Angle chips one to Chinikov. Top of the far circle, Chinikov on his offhand, opts to fire, this time just wide. It'll skim all the way out to center as the penalty concludes. 1 minute into this third period, still a 4-2 lead for the Jackets. Here's Dunn with a deflected shot, knocked down in front of the net. And Dunn will stuff it back around the end boards once more. Borowski able to gather that one in, slides it to Sabrango. Donovan Sabrango out through the neutral zone. Puck pops up for grabs and recovered by Pasquale Zito. Back to Plandowski. It's more Sabrango, and this puck touched in deep and in fact out of play. Check the shots, 20-16 in favor of Columbus. Not huge totals in either direction there in this game at this point.
No, and I know it's early on in the third period, but the Red Wings did exactly what they had to do to start the third period, kill off that penalty, not make it a 3-goal deficit, only a 2-goal deficit. Hopefully the Red Wings can get it together and get to within one shot of tying this game.
Gaudette able to win that faceoff. Now it is Tristan Mullen ducking down the far wall for Columbus. And a spinning for behind the net there. Trying to feed that one into the slot for a chance to fire on was Martin Raisavi. Now the puck back down for Björkvik Holm, who had his skates betray him there towards the kick plate behind his own net, but the puck swept by Mullen almost to the neutral zone. Zito takes over inside the line. Plays one into the corner. Sharp angle shot. In fact, from below the goal line, it bounces out to Cotton at the right point, who sends one off the crossbar and out of play. What is that, the third goal post of the game for the Wings?
A couple of crossbars, a goal post, and a couple of times we saw that puck on top of the net, off the crossbar and rolling behind the net. But again, the Red Wings inches away. Again, the next goal is a big one. That's the thing. If the Red Wings score the next goal, right back in it. If Columbus scores, well, looks like it could be lights out.
And I like Alex Cotton. I mean, he's known as an offensive defenseman. No sooner is the puck on his stick and it's off, and he's firing it on net.
Well, up for grabs, puck off that face-off. Flex out to center. Big hit applied there along the far boards by Mutter. And now Reynolds. Hit hard in the far corner. Ooh. There's another big one from Navrin Mutter into the far corner. This one slid in front, quick release, good save made by Bednar there with the right pad as he denied from right between the circles, Navrin Mutter. And now a big scramble along the near wall in the Detroit zone for possession here after a really big save for Bednar moments ago.
And Brubacher, he's feeling the pain right there.
Shot from the left point right on, another pad save, and this time the Red Wings swat at the distance. Cotton did the honors, and icing is washed out here. So play allowed to continue, 17:08 remaining in regulation, a 4-2 lead for Columbus.
That was Brubacher who absorbed the hit, and he was smart in making his way over to that Detroit bench.
Yeah, it looked like he might have had the wind knocked out of him a little bit. I thought it was a leg, but it wasn't.
There for Chinnikov as he just sort of picked that puck right off the ice and sent it wide. Now here come the Wings. T-Bone Codd over the blue line there, lost control of it. Now Chinnikov out of the way of what would have been a big hit, and two Red Wings collide, and still down is Codd as the other way. Sillinger with a shot. Bednar the save and a follow-up stop as well, but still down after colliding with his teammate out at center ice. That's T-Bone Codd.
I'll tell you what, that's going to be a mass unit in that Red Wing locker room. There's
no
so
doubt.
many players who have been hit and hurt in this hockey game, and Codd is on all fours down at center ice.
And Chinnikov had his head up there coming through the neutral zone and was able to evade that hit at the last moment, but Codd, unsuspecting there, caught the worst of it and colliding with his teammate.
Right, that was
New Power, wasn't it?
Yep, New Power head-on collision. I mean, he's right down there with T-Bone and telling him, look, man. But Codd definitely looks.
Well, he battled back after getting shaken up back in that first period. And so here again being helped off by New Power, who was the other part of that collision of two runaway freight trains there trying to line up Chinnikov.
You look back throughout the course of this game, obviously the Red Wings lost McIsaac in the first period due to injury, and then Tutayev got hit in the mouth and he was bleeding. Brubacher left the ice and looked like he got the wind knocked out of him. Now T-Bone Codd out at center ice. Curry went off with injury in the last game against St. Louis, so again, it's been a tough tournament for the Red Wings.
Well, this is the Red Wings' last game of the tournament, and they're supposed to have a practice tomorrow. I'm wondering if they're going to have enough bodies.
Collision off this straw deep inside the Detroit zone. Got 16:20 left in this third period. This puck at center angle tracked it down, sends it in deep. Bednar out of his net, helps one around the far boards. Savvy absorbs a hit from Veleno. And here comes Detroit. Tutayev had it stripped away from him by Clayton. And Rasavi lost control of that puck outside the blue line. Detroit takes over. Regrouping are the Red Wings. 4+ minutes gone in this third period. touched in deep. Back to retrieve is Christensen. Despartie thought about stopping that up for his defenseman, then thought better of it. Pass ahead, touched back to Tristan Mullen. Carries in from the neutral zone, cuts towards the front of the net to the forehand, and scrambling there was the goaltender Bednar, and he still is lunging for possession. He has it now as time halted with 15:34 to go in the third, and some extended conversation, if you will, continuing behind the Red Wings net.
That's Mullen and Ward, and the linesman trying to separate those two, and Ward and Mullen want to get a piece of each other, but it doesn't look like the referee's going to let him do it.
Mullen took his helmet off. I mean, he said, let's go, and...
Well, Mullen's wearing the full face shield right now. He caught a high stick and I think lost a tooth as well in the process in Columbus's last game, so some sportsmanship there, removing the face mask before trading shots with Ward.
There's a replay right here, right out in front, and then the action happened in behind the goal.
Mullen, a player, spent most of his college career with Cornell and then ended up at the University of Vermont last season. AHL contract with Cleveland this year. Played some games for the Monsters last season. Very versatile forward, and looking forward to seeing what he can do in Northeast Ohio again this season.
At the end of every whistle here, there is a lot of chirping going on between the two teams here.
So 2 minutes on the board in both directions for Ward and for Tristan Mullen. So we'll have a 4-on-4 situation with Sillinger, Chinnikov, out there with Tim Burney and Keene for the Blue Jackets. Pearson will take the draw for Detroit. False start there. They'll get this one dropped. Sillinger pries it back. Keene at the center blue, connects Chinnikov. Left-handed shooter has it high slot. Waits, fires, he scores! Chinnikov at the second of the hockey game, his fifth of the tournament. And just under 5 minutes into this third period, it's 5-2 for Columbus.
Well, he can really fire the puck, and we talked about his offensive capabilities earlier in the broadcast. And again, he has a variety of shots. He can slap the puck, he can snap it, and that was just a beautiful shot, beating Bednar. And that's a big goal for the Blue Jackets, leading by 3 now.
Yeah, 3 with 15:27 left to go, but very impressive, very, very impressive. Sillinger again, too, though. I mean, this Columbus has some high-end prospects, and they're on full display tonight.
Chinnikov, first-round pick, 21st overall in the draft. And he's a good one.
A lot of success in the KHL, and now in North America. Excited to be here. The Blue Jackets excited to have him. Producing in this tournament to the tune of 5 goals and 2 today.
Well, Columbus had a good draft this year, too. We tend to forget that. They have 3 first-round picks, and all of them impressive.
There's new power from the right point. That one sent wide. Columbus net. 5+ minutes gone here. Shot count, which was close to even for a good chunk of this game, now sort of bulging in the direction of the Blue Jackets, 26-16. Still a minute 9 left in the minor penalties, so it remains 4-on-4. Shot blocked from Sabrango, and now Tyler Angle controls it deep in his own zone for Columbus. Angle barrels his way through center ice. Fonstad watches him skate by. Quick release there and a right toe save made by Bednar. Angle with a deceptive shot there. Bounces back out for collection by Björkvik Holm on the left point. Now Stanislav Svazil skates it into the left circle. And sharp angle goes upstairs on Bednar, makes the save, and the rebound scooped up by the Wings. As here's Veleno waiting out a couple of line changes in either direction. And now spinning that compass dial north and to the neutral zone. Still 5-2 in favor of the Blue Jackets after the most recent Chinnikov goal.
Red Wings are going to have to dig down deep. It's a tired hockey club playing their third game in 4 days, the second of a back-to-back. But they got to dig it deep because Columbus is just going to keep coming at them.
Back into the offensive zone. Sillinger left it for Chinnikov. Wings spoil that. And now Detroit sends one behind the net. Plandowski recoils again. Chased down by Mullen, though. Forces a turnover. This one tapped below the goal line by Cross Hannes and around to the right side. Plandowski again. His pass forward. Hannes got a piece of it, deflected it to himself, but Björkvik Holm reaches back and lunges and is able to spoil that right wing carry. 7-minute mark upcoming here in the third. 5-2 for the Blue Jackets. As Ward cycles that one in behind the Columbus net. Mullen's going to pick it up. Right side of his own zone. Off the wall and out. Bounces past Zito. Captured by Newpower. Connect with his partner. And forward out towards center ice. This pass goes off the shin pads of Versavi. Dunn pressuring now. Puck again, slugged to the neutral zone. Butler's able to feather it in deep. Christensen retrieves for Columbus. Off the wall to center. Dunn couldn't handle it. Now Verbeek able to slide one ahead. Newpower felt some pressure there. Now it's free. Butler right circle. Sliding was Christensen to try to break it up. He blocked that shot or pass, whichever it would be, spoiled by his sprawling body. And then a turning shot for Verbeek goes wide. Thuds off the end boards. And this one will spin out to center, but Butler continues the assault, collides with Christensen. And Jake Christensen got the worst of that exchange as the Blue Jackets will break out now following a line change. Boyd, as we cross the 8-minute mark, drops it off. Christensen left circle, tried to return it to the back door there. And Dunn could not grab it for Columbus, and so the Red Wings will set up shop behind their own net and break out.
I'll tell you what, that was a beautiful hit on Christensen, but Christensen made a really good defensive play, stopping a 2-on-1 break for Detroit.
Good anticipation there. As this puck now dropped deep into the Columbus zone. Keane hammers it around the far wall, held in left point Sabrengo towards the net. That one blocked by the legs of Keane for the Blue Jackets. Mishandled by Navrin Mutter, but he's able to fix his handle on that puck and toss this one forward through center. Misfire on the one-touch pass intended for Fonstad. Detroit counters, and Zito lost control of it at the top of the circles. Here's Reynolds now for the Blue Jackets. Across the line, spins back into the slot. Bernie with a one-timer right on, and the save made by Bednar. He covers the rebound. Quick release from Tim Bernie stops time with a 5-2 Blue Jackets lead, 11 minutes left.
Well, today is the final game of the Prospects tournament for the Red Wings, but we're staying in Traverse City for Red Wings training camp presented by Huntington Bank. Fans, keep an eye out on Red Wings social media for some streams during practices. Sunday, 12 p.m., red-white game next week Sunday. All games and training camp. All the shows will be airing on Detroit Red Wings Facebook, YouTube, and website. And don't forget to check in the Red Wings award-winning TikTok as well.
Great spinning move there on the right point for Svozil as that save made by Bednar. Award-winning TikTok. I will write that down and check that out.
Well, you know, I'll tell you, Tony, I mean, Ken is like Mr. TikTok in the Red Wing organization. So you got to follow him. I mean, he's incredible.
Our producer, Mark, Milligan told me, he said, make sure you make the TikTok reference today. And at first I thought he was talking about a clock, but he had to explain it to me.
Well, I will be sure to subscribe to the Ken Kal TikTok as soon.
Oh, you have
as soon as we are off the air.
You'll be waiting a while.
He's a creative force.
I find that unsurprising.
He's what you call, he's an ultra influencer.
Well, we've got a whistle here, and it looks like a penalty coming up. Not just an influencer, an ultra.
Ultra influencer, yes.
I'm learning a lot today up here.
Well, yeah, Ken kind of coined that phrase himself. So. He's his own biggest fan.
Self-proclaimed.
Yeah, self-proclaimed, exactly.
I thought maybe by doing this show I was going to get a clock or something like that TikTok. I'm like, wow. I'll tell you what, our TikTok, I want to tell you something, Tony. Our TikTok is like the best in the National Hockey League.
It is. It really is. It is
award-winning.
3 billion followers or something.
I've got it written down. I've got it underlined 3 times. I will check it out right after the game. Penalty here against the Blue Jackets, so a power play for Detroit. Good opportunity. Still a lot of time left in this game. 10:20 left in this third period. And here come the Red Wings out of the defensive zone. Sabrango clips it back to Tayev. Leaves it for Veleno. He's across the line. The left wing ends up in the clutches of Sabrango. Slides it right side. Pearson goes right at the helmet of the goaltender Despate. And that one over the top of the Columbus net. And held in at the center point again by Detroit. Here's Veleno. On his forehand, walks it down into the corner. Slings it back, Sabrango. On his offhand to the high slot, Hannes. And the Blue Jackets take it away. Sillinger clears it all the way down.
Nice shot by Pearson right there. And when you get those opportunities, you want to make them count. He got the best of it, but shot it over the crossbar and a little bit lower. Maybe that's in the net for the Wings.
Just over halfway home here in this third period. Minute left on the Wings power play. Here's Veleno. Chased there by Tyler Angle. Feeds it ahead to Tayev. Carries it on the left wing, tried to center that one. It bounces back to Cotton, right point. Connects on the far side, and this one skated down and fired wide of the net there by Wyatt Newpower. And it careens all the way back to the top of the wing zone with 40 seconds left in the power play. Here's Cotton back again in full flight through center. Carries it behind the net, slings one towards the high slot. Grabbed by Toporowski. Now Newpower has it, strides top of the circle, fires. Tim Burney blocked it for the Blue Jackets. Back out right point, Cotton. 25 seconds left on the Detroit power play. Back out top, Cotton again. Able to scald that down the far wall. And hit into the boards there that looked like Luke Toporowski. And looks like the faceoff's going to come out to center here. No penalty, but those hits along the boards have factored in today.
You know, Tony Toporowski looked right at the referee. I mean, they've been calling those all game long, and he just can't believe that wasn't called right there.
And he's still kind of stunned. You sure there's no penalty on that? Yep, we're sure.
Seems that way. 14 seconds left on the original penalty. And the Blue Jackets get a clear after this center ice draw. Here comes Sabrengo from behind his own net. Up the left side, Toporowski. Chance at vengeance as he stalks across the Columbus line. Poked away from him. Bounces back out Sabrengo. Swatted out to Newpower. Penalty is over as Newpower sends one towards the net, and a couple of players came together there and are tangled after that shot was blocked. Here's Boyd the other way. Left circle. Great shot block there. Sabrengo tossed his right leg into it. Now the net comes off in the Detroit end as the puck is tossed into the opposite end of the ice and lifted over the net there. And now we will have a stoppage in play as the net is completely off its moorings, back in behind Bednar.
That collision there is between Bjorvik Holm and also the Detroit Red Wing player. Forgot the name of him. Newpower, I think it was. And boy, that was something of a collision there off to the side of the goal. But it's been a pretty physical game. It really picked up.
Yeah, it has picked up, and you would think maybe just the opposite. But the way the hits have been going, and the score now 5-2, Columbus up by 3. I think the Red Wings, and they know this is it. This is my last 8:02 left in this game. 8:02 to impress, and they're playing hard. And they're playing all out.
They certainly are, and of course, regardless of the outcome of these games, every minute of this competitive situation very valuable to these guys at this point in the season.
That's exactly right.
Puck lifted off the draw inside the Columbus zone, back to full and even strength both ways. Here's Ward. His shot bounces around, rattles, and is poked past the left leg of Despotie. And an unconventional route that puck took, but Hannes is able to connect, and it's 5-3.
That was big. I mean, that's exactly what the Red Wings needed to do. Cross Hannes scoring. Red Wings now manageable 2-goal deficit with 7:50 to play. How many times have we said this? You stay in front of the net, you're poking around, good things happen. That's how the Red Wings' first goal by Chase Pearson was the same way.
Oh, crazy carom there. That took a couple of different right-left turns on its way into the back of the net, but that's what you do. You put the puck towards the net. Can't score without doing that.
Right. That's rule number 1.
7:40 left in this third period. Now a 2-goal game as the Red Wings sling out of their defensive zone. Here's Walker. Able to send this past Christensen to the end wall. He chases after it. He and Fonstad collide as the Blue Jackets escape. Cole Fonstad up the right side. Here's Navrin Mutter. Mutter right circle into the middle. Fonstad, and a penalty coming up here against the Red Wings as Fonstad couldn't get that shot away cleanly. Slashing is called. Will be another Blue Jacket power play. And afterwards, more conversation. Friendly, maybe less than that, in front of the Detroit bench.
It's done getting involved.
Looks like Pearson's going to get the slashing minor.
Yep.
And a good job by Fonstad there through center. Tossed that pass up to the right wing on the entry and got it back in the slot. Draws that penalty.
Right in front of the Detroit bench seems to be a very popular gathering place for both teams here. This seems to occur quite often during this game.
So a 5-3 lead, and now a Blue Jacket power play and a chance to push this back to a 3-goal advantage. Off the draw, this is poked right in front of Bednar, and He's only too eager to slap the glove down on top of that, and the faceoff will come back to the same spot. 7:15 to go in this third period. Now, you mentioned that the Red Wings schedule concludes after today's game. The Blue Jackets have another contest tomorrow, 1 p.m. Chance today, though, to make it a 3-0 record in their first 3 games here in Traverse City this year.
Tony, I gave you the wrong information. It was Mason Ward that scored that goal.
Tough to tell. I mean, that took a couple of different deflections on its way in, and now here's a shot for Sillinger, and another save for Bednar. Covers. So Ward with the goal to make it a 2-goal.
Yeah, big defenseman getting in front of the net right there. As we take a look at the replay, puck deflected off a stick, up into the air, and
off the crossbar, off his left leg and in.
Yep. And there he was, Johnny on the spot, off to the side of the goal. It looked like Cross Hannes, who was over to the side, but we'll have to wait and see.
Big drive, Chinnikov again, and he scores! Chinnikov's hat-trick goal. My goodness, on fire for the Blue Jackets, and their lead is pushed to 6-3 as Chinnikov continues to dazzle in Traverse City.
He certainly does. He has been impressive, and now the Red Wings 3 goals down with 6:49 left to play. What is that, their third power play goal, Columbus?
Yeah, they've got 2 power play goals, a 4-on-4 goal, and a shorthanded goal.
Okay.
And just a great look at that there from our fantastic crew here at Center Ice Arena. As you can see, Chinnikov sending that one back towards the far post. I have a feeling that top of the right circle going to be a popular place for him in the offensive zone in his National Hockey League career.
I think Columbus fans are going to love that. They're going to love that player, too.
Pass through center. Here's Cole Fonstad for the Blue Jackets.
Quick release, accurate, hard shot, and an arsenal of shots, really.
Tossed back. Left point, here's Tim Birney for the Blue Jackets towards the net. Bouncing puck, fended off by Bednar. Gaudette battling for it there against Walker. Walker comes away with it for the Wings. Starts out of his defensive zone. 6 minutes to go in this third period. Here's Tim Birney. Wings on a line change here. Connects with Fonstad for Columbus. Cole Fonstad spins towards that far wall. Puck bounces free. Taken by Keene. Keene's able to scald it about halfway down the dasher. And the Red Wings take over. Pearson skates through the neutral zone. Feeds it on the left wing. Carried below the goal line to Tayev. Surveys his options, connects with Ward. Just kind of slapped that one towards the front of the net. Despati was there. Now out left point, it's back to Tutayev behind the net. And he's trying to coax a centering pass into a crowd of bodies there, and eventually the Blue Jackets come away with it. Boyd spearheads a 3-on-1 entry now. Right circle, Boyd to his forehand, he scores! Penn Boyd over that left pad of Bednar, and the Blue Jackets make it a 7-3 lead.
Well, this was what kind of was afraid of here with the Red Wings playing a little bit shorthanded, score getting a little bit out of hand now. But this Columbus team has shown that they do have a lot of firepower, and they're playing well. They almost doubled up the Red Wings in shots right now, 35-18. So Columbus, and as Tony, as you pointed out, they traditionally, history, they do well in this tournament. They do well up here in Traverse City, and history is repeating itself, unfortunately, for Red Wing fans tonight.
That was a nice backhand. It was a 3-on-1 opportunity, and he had choices, and he elected to go with the backhand and pop it behind Bednar.
Absolutely, and we've seen, as we talked about earlier, that backhand, Art.
Yep, we've seen at least 4 backhands, I think, tonight go behind Mr. Bednar.
Wings and Hayden Verbeek counter into the offensive zone now with under 5 to play in the third. It's the Blue Jackets 7, the Red Wings 3. And the shot's 35-18 for Columbus now. Here's Sillinger, left side of his own zone, forward to Rasavi. We'll push it past New Power. Sabrango after it there. Slides it around across Hannes. Hannes clips it back through the Red Wing slot, and eventually Valeno able to connect with Verbeek. Verbeek looked like he was headed for a change and then had to receive that pass first. He dumps it in. And the Blue Jackets have plenty of time to get out of their own end. 4:15 left in this third period. Puck away from Mullen there and swatted back through center ice. Christensen recovers in the Blue Jacket zone. Now Dunn swivels it in deep. Bednar had that one roll up on edge, and it went underneath his capture there behind the Red Wing net. Now Veleno picks it up, left side of his own cage. Spins back after some pressure, and the puck pops free. Dunn had a chance to shoot. Puck wouldn't cooperate. Taken away by Toporowski and dumped in behind Despati, and the Blue Jackets in. Now across the 16-minute mark here in the third period. Nice pass ahead and a great chance to poke that one home there towards the front of the cage came courtesy of Luke Toporowski. And now Dunn is going to control for Columbus in the far corner of his own zone with 3.5 to go. Clayton, outlets ahead. Here's Fonstad, high slot, shoots one, that one off of Ward. Went off the end glass. Red Wings tap out to the neutral zone. Played to Jake Christensen. Christensen for the Blue Jackets. Connects with Boyd, your most recent Columbus goal scorer. To the right side of center, Keane upended there. Puck fought for with 3 minutes left. 7-3 lead for Columbus as they look to go 3-0 in their first 3 games in Traverse City this year. Tutayev across the Blue Jacket line. Is it forced off in the far corner? Touched around now for a pickup by the Blue Jackets. Misconnection there as swinging up ice was the intended target on that pass. Jake Gaudette. 2.5 to play, just over that here in this third period. New power. Right on net, Despati the save. Rebound careens to the far side of the Blue Jacket zone. And now tossed to the high slot. Nice little backhander for Pasquale Zito as he pushed it right along the ice. And again, Despati saw it coming. Here is Tutayev. Tutayev leaves it far corner. Kick back to Zito. Zito wrapped up by Tim Birney. And the puck taken away there by Keane. Gerard Keane couldn't clear down the length of the ice. Now Birney swats it forward, eventually into the clutches of Mutter. Mutter in the end wall in the Detroit zone as we're down inside of 2 minutes left in this third period. Eventually gave up possession. Now New Power out to the neutral ice area, taken away. Navrin Mutter relinquished possession as quickly as he established it. Now back to Tyler Angle. Angle with the defenseman catching up after a line change. Angle drops it off, right circle, quick shot, burns wide there for the Blue Jackets and Mutter at the end of a long shift. 1:25 to play in regulation, a 7-3 Columbus lead. Here's Butler. Butler towards Despati, backhander right on, save made, rebound loose and bouncing out towards the blue line. But we've got a roughing call indicated. Looks like the Red Wings are going to have a power play here for the final minute 14.
You know what amazes me, Tony and Art, is the play of the Detroit Red Wings forward, Kirill Tutayev. He's not afraid. He's not a big guy, but he's not afraid to go into the boards and try to win the one-on-one battles. And we just saw that the last time he was on the ice. Seemed like that was his bread and butter, trying to win those battles. He did. Interfering with some players so that his teammate can pick up the puck, and he just has been amazing in this entire Prospects tournament.
Well, he makes room. He makes room out of nothing. I mean, the Columbus is all over him, and yet he still controls the puck and is able to make plays. And really good anticipation, and you can tell. He has a high skill level, and it shows. He just hasn't been rewarded, unfortunately, on the score sheet.
Well, looks like Angle thought he caught a high stick there. No call. Play continues. As we've got 1 minute left in this third period. Blue Jackets up 7-3 and a power play the rest of the way here for Detroit as a clearance bounces all the way down.
I'm sure the Red Wings would like to finish this game strong. Maybe get a power play goal.
I mentioned Tutayev there, though. Yes, high skill level, but also you can tell he's got a nose for the net. He wants to get there. He wants to get the puck there. Just that natural goal-scoring inclination.
Gritty and nifty, and you don't find that very often in a hockey player.
Here's Veleno, back out top, Sabrango. His shot off a leg and wide. Final 25 seconds of the game here as the puck drifts free, picked up by Cole Fonstad. Fonstad with 20 seconds left sends it the length of the ice, and the Blue Jackets will change most of their penalty killers.
Final rush here for the Red Wings. Can they make something happen before the clock strikes 0?
8 seconds left, now 6 seconds to go as Veleno sends it up the right side. Butler dumps it in, 3 seconds, 2-1, that's it. Time runs out on the Red Wings, the horn sounds, and the final score, the Columbus Blue Jackets improved to 3-0 in the 2021 NHL Prospects Tournament by virtue of a 7-3 victory here this evening at Center Ice Arena.
Yeah, and the Red Wings dropped to 1-2, and this is their final game before training camp starts. But this is a banged-up Detroit Red Wings club right now. We've seen McIsaac leave in the opening period, some injuries throughout the course of the game for Detroit. And I give a lot of credit to the Blue Jackets. They took advantage of the power play here today, 2 power play goals, a shorthanded effort. And the Red Wings got goals from Pearson, Zito, and Ward in this loss to the Blue Jackets today.
Right. I just think after a while, missing a couple of your missing Berggren, missing Raymond, being down to only 10 forwards. I think as the game wore on, the Red Wings, had good effort. They kept trying, but Columbus has been really impressive in this tournament. We did their game the other night on Friday against Dallas, and they kind of picked up where they left off. Again, I know I keep saying it, but I like the way they play as a unit. They communicate out there. They're talking to one another. And, when you do that, good things really start to happen. And I think that they, I don't know who does the scouting reports for Columbus, but they do a pretty darn good job. I mean, that, backhand shot or the glove side of Bednar seems to be maybe one of the areas that he's going to have to work on, because that's exactly where they were shooting.
And, of course, today, a huge showing for Igor Chinnikov. 3 more goals, the hat trick today, showing his arsenal of different offerings offensively. I mean, the guy, simply put, can shoot the puck, and he did so today to great effect.
Well, I talked about Alex Cotton for Red Wing fans. As soon as he gets the puck, no sooner is it, off his stick and on the net, and it's hard and it's accurate, but it's another level. I mean, it truly is. With Chinnikov, he's exceptional, absolutely exceptional, and that is going to be a name that you're going to hear in the NHL for a long time, because what he is showing in this tournament, what is it now, 5-6 goals that he has, hat trick tonight, very impressive.
And the goaltenders, I thought, were pretty good for Columbus throughout the entire series. We saw Jet Greaves, he was really good in the first 2 games for Columbus. Dave Partey comes in today and does a remarkable job, just allowing 3 Red Wing goals. So their goaltenders doing good. We saw 3 different goaltenders out for the Red Wings in all 3 games. Maybe some work to do, and maybe it's something on the horizon for Sebastian Cossa. And you look at today, Jan Bednar, where they can work on their game and know what it takes to make it to the next level.
Well, yeah, definitely learning experience, certainly. I mean, Cossa has all the confidence in the world, as we know. We've talked to him. He loves the trash talk on the ice. His numbers were exceptional with Edmonton in the WHL the last 2 years. But, maybe an experience like what happened to him last night might be a good thing, a good learning experience. Bednar the same way. I thought out of all the 3 goaltenders, maybe Bratstrom was probably had the best showing of the Red Wing netminders during this tournament.
Well, the Blue Jackets, they are going to be having their training camp coming up soon. Where's the training camp for the Blue Jackets?
It's going to be right there at Nationwide Arena in Columbus, and after that, on down to Cleveland at some point for some of those guys. And the biggest thing that we're all just excited about, back to hockey, back to full buildings. And this time of year is one of the real special times of the year where every team, no matter the level, has a lot of hope for what's ahead, and that's true, I think, for both the Red Wings and the Blue Jackets.
You know how, I'm sorry, Ken, I just want to say something, because I don't want to embarrass Kenny here, but you know how sometimes after games, like opponents exchange jackets or sweaters? I know Ken has been eyeing your monster paraphernalia.
I haven't said anything. Maybe you're the one that's...
Maybe you guys can have an exchange here on the air. You take your jacket off, Ken will give you the Wings thing, and he can have the monster thing.
And then I'll give it to him, because I know he's going to be tugging my my coat saying, I
love the logo. I love the Monsters logo. I have to admit. It's such a cool name, too.
Give me a couple of days to work on our merchandising, folks. We might have a care package headed up to Detroit. What do you guys say?
Ken's all for it. I know. You know what? And then anything you need about TikTok, whatever you want to do to become an influencer, Kenny's your man.
I'll start as an influencer. Ultra influencer is too much to aspire.
Well, what I'm really looking forward to is that these 2 teams will be battling in the preseason, too. Once at Nationwide Arena, once at Little Caesars Arena. And fans, we want to make sure that you get your tickets for not only upcoming preseason games, but also the regular season, which starts October the 14th against the 2-time defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning. But maybe perhaps fans will see some of these players that played in the Prospects tournament getting a chance either at Nationwide Arena or Little Caesars Arena. You can see them live and in person.
Well, the state of Michigan, the state of Ohio, always a great rivalry going on, and maybe someday both of these teams will be, again, at elite levels and competing in playoffs and having some really memorable series. I sure hope so.
Well, I certainly just want to say thank you guys so much for having me today. It's a great honor to be with you and a great pleasure, too. And thank you again so much for the opportunity.
No, you're welcome, Tony. Did a fine job here today.
Really enjoyed it.
And I just want to remind our fans, too, that we'll be streaming throughout the course of the training camp, which starts on Thursday. We'll run Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and with the Red-White game on Sunday. But, stay tuned to DetroitRedWings.com and YouTube and Facebook, and check all your Red Wing websites, because we're going to be on. We'll be covering it for you. And I know, Art, you're going to get all the down and dirty dirt that goes on in training camp, and you'll bring it to our listeners.
See, but that's the stuff that goes on off the ice. I mean, I don't know if I can actually say that.
Well, save it for TikTok.
Yeah, there we go. Kenny, you'll have to present it as the influencer that you are.
All right, I'll have to work on my TikTok game right there. Anyway, we thank everybody for tuning into our stream today. We want to thank everybody working behind the scenes. I know Mark's done a good job, and Eric and Brad and Pete Skorich, and we want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching our broadcast here. So for Carley Johnson and Art Regner and the fine voice of the Cleveland Monsters, Tony Brown, we thank you so much for watching. And until we meet again with a regular training camp, which starts on Thursday, we'll talk to you soon. We say good night from Center Ice Arena in Traverse City, Michigan.